All right,
Oh yeah,
Lane.
all this hair.
Lane was
Thank you
just
for
getting his
putting me
hair
on
fixed.
right as you're talking.
Lane was just getting his hair fixed before we got started. I'm
You.
like, Lane, get ready for the cameras. And, I saw him combing his hair. I'm like, here we go. But what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 108. 108, guys. That's crazy.
Damn.
I hope everybody's doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. We got some cool stuff to talk about this week. Nothing too like crazy and expansive, but some definite cool stuff nonetheless. Hope everybody's doing well. I've had a pretty good week for figures. That's for sure. It's been a busy week at work and stuff, but a lot of figures have came in. I finally got my InArt the Batman set from Spec Fiction. I think that might be a record for the slowest InArt sale to delivery to date. So I waited forever for that. So I'm glad to have it, though. I didn't have any real QC issues with mine. My box for the Batman randomly had like glue all over it, but other than that, it seemed fine. So excited about that. As always, guys, if you got anything awesome that came in this week, feel free to share it. I know, Lane, you got your tactical
Just a
Batman
little
bat
bit.
cycle. Yeah, your
Just
giant
right,
box.
right behind over my. I keep putting it right over my
It's hard to
shoulder
do on
here.
camera, Lane, because it's the opposite.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know.
not on you. It's definitely
I
hard to do.
literally just got it in a little while ago. So like unboxed it out of the shipping like about 10 minutes ago.
And Lane, you have extreme patience because you were telling me you're probably going to wait quite a while to unbox that. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
gotta
know how you
wait
do it,
for.
dude.
I gotta wait for the. Well, I don't have a. It's hard. It's easier for a vehicle than a figure because a vehicle, like, yeah, okay, but if you don't have a figure, or I mean, if I had got the 2-pack with the actual Batman, that would be hard. But I hated that Batman quite a bit, as we've already discussed before.
You know how I feel about that one. I think the figure, like,
Came
it
out
seems
all
like most
right.
people are fine with it. Yeah, like it didn't have too many issues. It's just not for me. It's not even like not having the Ben Affleck likeness. I just don't like the suit. It looks like a cheese grater to me. It's like that's the Ratatouille suit. That's what that is. But hey, I'm happy. I'm happy for those that got it and are happy with
Ooh.
it. And I'm also very glad that you can put the BVS 2.0 mouth plates on it because I'm sure that's going to make a massive difference. So, but guys, we're going to have our boy Thrawn's office joining us, and Justin from How You Figure will be joining us as well. No Chris yet again tonight. He's getting screwed at work with the scheduling still. And I was like, dang, you're even after the new year, they're still getting you. And like, he's like,
Well, they're
yeah,
still
it's rough.
behind trying
So.
to catch up on shipping still, so I'm not
Yeah,
100%
and there was this
surprised.
whole thing about like them taking over packages for USPS, and they didn't come to some sort of agreement with that whole thing, so now they have to deliver all of them. So it's really rough for him right now. So, but guys, we got 25 people watching. We've only been live for 2
Already.
minutes, and we got the two.
Jeez.
I guess Lane's the most handsome here at this point, but and again, he was really trying to look good for you guys, just combing his hair before we
Oh
started.
yeah, I know. I picked this especially out for you guys. It said streaming shirt to me.
One day,
Streaming
Lane,
power
we all
shirt.
have to wear your signature look with the plaid button down. That needs to be a thing. The all Lane stream. That's
Going
the
to
thing.
plaid, man. We're for football one.
StreamYard. I don't know what you guys keep doing, but why do you guys keep messing with my colors? Every time I go back into StreamYard for the next stream, all of my banners are reset. My audio's messed up. The 720p instead of 1080p is enabled on the camera. I'm back to potato mode. I don't know what's going on. But JB, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. As always, on this fine Tuesday evening, we got a channel member, a moderator, and a good friend, Sneaky Figures. Congrats, by the way, Sneaky. Sneaky finally got his brown suit Wolverine out and was able to pose it up and everything, and it seems like he's having a lot of fun with it. So, congrats on that, dude. And I'm glad you're able to fit it into your collection because that one picture you took was really dope. I really like that pose. So, thank you so much for being here as always. My boy Valk is in the house. What's up, Valk? A channel member and a good friend. Valk says, "Good evening. Good afternoon, Connor and friends. It's evening for me right now. Time for
Yep.
the hotline hotties to come out." Yes, sir. I hope you're doing well, Valk. Thank you so much for being here, bro. As always, I very much appreciate it. Guys, I am in the process of renaming the channel membership officially to the Hotline Hotties. I was going through some options for tiers. I might add a new tier, an additional tier, and then change the current ones. I did update it, I think, already to Hotties, but I didn't fully rename all the tiers. But if you'd like to become a channel member, or if you're an existing channel member, the tiers will be finally updated. I know everybody's like, yes, we finally won. And I know Michael's really happy too. So I will be updating that all soon with a new tier and some stuff. So as always, guys, all of you guys who are channel members, I really much appreciate it. We got Goofy Goober in the house. What's up, Goofy? I recognize you from the YouTube short stuff. I know you're always commenting on that. I appreciate you for being here. I love the Minion profile picture. Apparently, Goofy Goober said that they're going to do devious stuff. Well, at least, hopefully it's not anything too bad. But thank you so much for being here. West Michigan Collector in the house. I actually just talked to West Michigan on Instagram right before we started. West Michigan, what's up, my friend? We're talking about the Lim Toys Nathan Drake. I actually just got mine today. I will have a review up tomorrow. And sorry, guys, I didn't end up doing a review on the Edward Scissorhands like I said I was probably going to, just because my schedule was just so crazy last week. But I promise you tomorrow I'll have a review up for the Lim Toys Nathan Drake. It's really good. It's a really, really good figure. So very, very impressed when I took a quick peek into the box when I opened it up today. So I'm going to be gushing over that one for sure. But thank you so much for being here, West Michigan, as always. We got Gio, the movie canon, a channel member and a good friend. And I got a little story about Gio once we get started, because Gio, he really did me a huge favor. So once we start talking about a particular artisan figure, I got to give Gio a little bit of a shout out. But Gio, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Sounds like some greasing of palms is going on here behind the scenes, guys.
No, Gio's just a great guy, man. Gio and Jose. I don't know if Jose's here yet. I do see Jose in the chat.
Sounds like some 1/6 scale YouTuber, like 20s mafia bank heisting plans there, man.
Maybe Jose and Gio
under the table dealing and all that kind of stuff.
It could be. Jose and Gio may have started a gang. I may have joined it just to get the figure.
I know.
We'll see. What's up, Tijuana Mike? Blinders. A.K.A. King Churro, a channel member and an absolute gentleman. Speaking of gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, Tijuana Mike. I hope you're doing well. It's always great to have you here on this fine Tuesday evening. Of course, we got the GOAT, Thrawn's office, a.k.a. Mike Latoris, in the chat. Like I said, when I told him that I was officially updating it to the hotties, he was super stoked about that. So I'm sure he's gonna milk that for all it's worth, because he was the one that started it. But he will be joining us very shortly, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah, dude, it's really good. I'm telling you, that figure is amazing. You definitely cannot sleep on Lim Toys. They might take forever to come out with stuff, but when they actually do, it's always a hit. And I've been very happy with the two figures I have with them thus far, Arthur Morgan and Nathan Drake. So bring on the John Marston. And I know that they're still going to be doing the Dutch as well from Red Dead Redemption 2, so I cannot wait for that. But yeah, you're gonna love it, dude. I promise you. We got my boy Moose, a channel member and a good friend. Moose says, "Hello, community of collectors. I was able to score an Artisan Winter Soldier from Toys on Fire UK and finagled a Hot Toys Drax and Star-Lord Volume 1 for a very decent price." I did see that. I know we were chatting about that the other day. Congrats again on that, dude. Drax is even more of a chase piece now because Hot Toys never released another one. Speaking of Guardians, guys, if you're looking for the Volume 2 Guardians and some of the Volume 3 stuff, I'm selling mine right now. So if you need Nebula, Volume 2, Star-Lord, whatever, reach out to me. I'm making space right now on the Marvel display because I just got all this other cool stuff to make space for. DC, Kaustic Plastik is going to drain my wallet to the last drop. So got to make space somehow, right? But thank you so much for being here, Moose. We got Earth616 Collector in the house. What's up, my friend? Earth616 says, "Just had Lady Pool show up yesterday, and the deluxe Jack Sparrow will be here Thursday." I also have my Jack Sparrow on the way. Congrats on both of those. Lady Pool, I got it in. I think I'm going to end up selling it. I don't know. I lost my hype for those, you know. And again, as I'm making more room in my displays for other Marvel stuff, I'm like, eh. But she does look pretty cool. It's my buddy Collecting Madness, Chris, has it in his collection, and she looks awesome. I just don't want to take up all that space for all the Deadpool variants, especially seeing as we may eventually get that battle damage one. I'd rather make the space for that instead, that battle damage Deadpool. Never expected to see my boy 1/6 Lovers here. Guys, you know, I've shown stuff from 1/6 Lover many times on this stream. I love this guy. He's a buddy of mine. I talk to him all the time. If you guys haven't already, check out 1/6 Lovers on Instagram. He is the coolest dude ever. He's hilarious, and he does the community a big service. He gets day one figures and puts up great photos, and it's not just like one set of photos. He does like a whole like album of different photos, multiple Instagram posts. He does quick unboxing videos. He just does amazing stuff, and I love this dude. And I know a lot of you guys are probably familiar with him because I talk about him all the time. But 1/6 lover, it's great to see you here, bro. Maybe we can get you on one day. I don't know if you'd be comfortable going on a live stream because I know it's not for everybody, but I would love to have you on because we talk literally all the time, and I just think you do great work, and you know I love your stuff, dude. And yeah, it's really cool to see you in the chat, bro. So I hope you're doing well. And here, see, Jose's always throwing me under the bus, man. I said I was sorry, and then he's like trying to start a riot about the Edward Scissorhands review. Dude, I don't think anybody... I will do a short review at the very least. Again, my work schedule has been crazy the past 2 weeks, so my shorts and everything have come to a screeching halt, but I've got a lot planned.
Sir, you gotta do what the audience wants, even if it causes you mental sight.
I don't know if Jose counts, dude. I don't know if Jose counts.
Well,
because Jose's just trying to start a riot in the chat.
Okay, OG fans. So that means you need to start putting it in there right now. Edward Scissorhands or GTFO. Just like we need Edward Scissorhands review GTFO.
Angry Dog Hobby says maybe some Terminator or Predator announcement today. I don't know, dude. Those are going to be hard to gauge. I still want both of those, especially that clean Terminator. I mean, I have my custom Jungle Hunter Predator that I'm very happy with, but of course I'd be happy to get a new one from Hot Toys. Jose, I'm just joking with you.
He said, "I don't count." You gotta go from plus to super deluxe before you start paying attention.
This guy right here cracks me up. So Dylan has been a member of the Discord for the longest time, and he used to collect Hot Toys and used to chat Hot Toys all the time, and then he got really into like props, and I think he does autographs too. And every time there's a new like Jedi announcement or really cool Star Wars announcement, he's always like, "Oh, I shouldn't. I don't want to get back into them." He's gonna keep doing it, and then when they announce the Dark Side Anakin 2.0, I know that's when we're gonna get him back. If we haven't already, I'm sure at this point he's.
Oh yeah, if the Dark Side Anakin, they're gonna they're gonna try and one up Blitzway, so they'll be like Dark Side Anakin, Artisan, and then like the next day, Obi-Wan Anakin.
And I know he's a fan of the prequels, so that's how we're gonna get him back. So
you think he's toast? I know you're gonna be toast, even though you're gonna be like, well, I already got the quarter scale, but the Obi-Wan's not got doll hair that I can pose up like I love to.
We're going to get him somehow, dude. We're going to get him somehow. OG fan, the GOAT is in the house. Another good friend, a channel member, and a moderator. Great to see you, bro, as always. I hope you're doing well. I know Lane can never miss you in the chat because you're his biggest hype man. He always hyped the chat up for our boy Lane. So thank you so much for being here, OG, as always. Let's see who else we got. We got Pedro Lopez in the house. I'm sure he typed hotline confirmed, and there it is. I knew it was coming. Again, guys, if something happened, it wasn't me. If someone told you something was coming out and it didn't happen, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
What's up, my dude? My local DMV boy that we talk all the time, and I knew he had the Maryland Terrapins tattoo in his profile picture, but we didn't put two and two together, and we chat all the time on Instagram. And thanks for being here, bro. It's always great to have you here. I hope you're doing well. Let's see who else we got. Let's see, KG in the house. What's up, KG? Great to see you, bro. KG says, "Let's go. Did y'all pick up the Winter Soldier?" KG, I'm about to tell my story about the Winter Soldier, the rise and the fall of Hot Toys Hotline getting the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and the utter sadness and stuff, because that one was the bloodbath that we always make fun of with these exclusives. Yeah. But that was the.
Dude, it happens to the best of us. I don't have a secret line to Hot Toys. I just go in the queue like everyone else, and we go.
And that happened to a lot. That happened to a lot of the YouTubers. Did not get that.
Rob Rod with the best profile picture, Lane. He's got a pit droid reading a little. It looks like a magazine with Princess Leia on the front. Hut Slayer Leia. Rob Rod says, "I hope Hot Toys sell stock at Celebration. Maybe something out of their sold out vault." That doesn't happen too often, but Galen Urso will be there as an exclusive figure. That's going to be sick. I'm definitely going to be getting that one. I know if 1/6 Lovers is still here, I know he's going to be getting that because he's big into Star Wars like a lot of us are. I feel like he gets everything Star Wars like I do. Jazzy in the house, my dude. What's up, Jazzy? A channel member. And, dude, every time I see some of Jazzy's photos, I say this all the time, but I need to, like, pick his brain because I feel like I take awful photos. I know some people are like, "Oh, they're not too bad," but this dude like makes the figures look realistic. And he did this photo the other day of like all of his InArt stuff to date, And I'm like, damn, like I have all those too. I wish I could take a photo like that because I suck at taking photos. But Jazzy, great to see you as always, bro. I know Jazzy, he didn't have the best luck with Winter Soldier either. A lot of you guys reached out to me when I put my post up on Instagram talking about the Winter Soldier and what happened with it. And I just thought it was hilarious. We were all kind of sharing our pain together. And I hope maybe I made some of you guys feel better saying that I missed out too, because I had so many messages about the Winter Soldier. It was hilarious. Okay, sorry. Yeah. We'll count him skipping one figure. He skipped the dewback. I think maybe a lot of people probably pass on that one just because it's gargantuan. I mean, it's a massive box, but yeah, I don't blame you, dude. It's a big piece. I have a spot for mine, but it's not going to go in. You can see my New Hope shelf is pretty complete right now. So
and the other thing is that thing has bad timing because you had the DeLorean 3 come out. You had the ATRT hasn't delivered to most people. You had just like even from other figures like the 3-pack or the 4-pack from Joker. I mean, you had a lot of big boxes, a lot of stuff here at roughly the same time.
Yeah.
How do you balance it off? Like, well, you know, I can say from firsthand experience here.
It's not easy, dude. It's not easy. And it also, Lane, it's not easy being cheesy either. So you gotta, you gotta balance it out. I just love making Lane mad at me. But Aiden's Collection, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. I think I got everybody, guys, as always. Of course, I can't forget about Yomo as he's coming in right as we're getting started. Yomo, a channel member and a good friend. Guys, we do have a goal. YouTube does this new donation goal thing. Guys, I got like 5 invoices this week. So if you want to ease the pain a little bit, throw your boy a bone, 50 cents, $1. I'll put on like a robe and a little cup and whatever I got to do.
Hey, all I'm going to say is you should just be glad you're not getting from PCS that the movie's turtle, the from the old movie poster, the 4 turtles out of the sewer.
People, that's sick. I saw that.
Yeah.
Like were there actual turtles? Yeah. That's really cool.
You know, if people started getting the shipping amount, how they're going to have to pay for that. $875.
Yeah, I'm not. That doesn't surprise me because oh Lord, look who I did. I'm so sorry, Sean.
Sorry, Sean. You're a magic.
Sean. I'm programmed, because I know, when you're on stream, obviously right now you got a lot of stuff going on, but when you're on stream, I'm programmed to just scroll past the panelist comments most of the time because they're just saying what's up. So I'm sorry, Sean. I can't miss Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, the GOAT. I don't know why Sean's not a moderator. I feel like I made him a moderator at some point. Speaking of the GOAT. Cracking the soda, ready to get crazy, talking about the Winter Soldier. The funniest thing ever. So Justin and I chat pretty frequently, and last week, we didn't go live last week. The week before that, Justin texted me joking around. He was like, "Wow, dude, I would have loved to have been on the stream this week. Some stuff I would have really liked to talk about." Obviously, he was just messing with me because Justin's got that sense of humor, and I do too. And I invited him this week. He's like, "Dude, you sure you're not just inviting me because I gave you a little shit last week?" And I'm like, "No, dude, come on. How many times have I invited you to the stream? Of course not." But Justin, I had to have you on to talk about the Dukes, right? I mean, come on now. And then Frankenstein's monster. You think I'm not going to invite Justin from How You Figure, the one that's been championing the Universal monsters alongside me? Come on now.
Yeah, man. I hope Kaustic is hearing this too, man, because this is the one time where like it normally doesn't bother me when people get figures early, like earlier than me, and they open it. That normally never bothers me. These are gonna bother me when people have them before me and like they're like enjoying them. I'm gonna be like, damn it, I need it like now.
I know. Like where?
So those are gonna be tough, man. Yeah.
It's like where were they on episode 108 of Hot Toys Hotline when you said you wanted it early?
Exactly, man. Exactly. But no, dude, I'm happy to be here, man. Yeah, like I said, man, just an awesome time right now to be a fan of. Again, it's always an awesome time to be a fan of Marvel, DC, Star Wars, as we all know. And Hot Toys always gives us week after week stuff to talk about. But it's truly exciting, man, to be a horror / sci-fi / old school 80s, 90s action fan right now. Yeah. Because this last couple weeks, man, just been awesome announcements and reveals. So I'm hyped, man.
I agree. I totally agree. And it's like the age of unique stuff right now. We talked about that on a recent stream about how we're just getting so much unique stuff right now. So it's cool, man. It's exciting. And, Kaustic Plastik and, InArt and other company and even Hot Toys, they're doing a lot of unique stuff. So it's cool, man. So I'm excited to talk about it. Excited to get into this Winter Soldier. I haven't had a chance to talk about it in full on stream yet. So I'm excited to dive in and hear everybody's thoughts on it. Andreas, a channel member and a good friend. Great to see you as always, bro. Andreas says, hey, y'all. I hope you're doing well. He had another comment that I missed. I think I scrolled right past it. But also, I cannot miss Jose's heater of a comment here. He said, Yomo's here? Is there a giveaway today? You know, if there was, Yomo would be winning it because he just has the best luck. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't win the figures on the last giveaway we did. I'm very surprised. And before we get started, guys, we cannot forget, where's his main? There he is. Big Dog Pound. Of course, Chris isn't here to bust out the belt, but in spirit, I got to back up the mic. I don't want to blow your eardrums out. Woo! What's up, Big Dog Pound? Great to have you here as always, bro. Another channel member and a moderator and the biggest hype man in the chat. We can't have a Hot Toys Hotline stream without him, so thank you so much for being here, bro, as always. I think I got everybody. As always, guys, if I miss you, drop a comment during the stream. Of course, we'll do our best to address all comments. I think I got it pulled up, so I think we can get started with the Winter Soldier. So, guys, this one, it's a controversial one for sure. Very controversial, and I was actually very surprised to see how divided the opinions were on this one. And let me start by saying this. Do I think that this is an absolute 10 out of 10 perfection? We've been waiting for a Winter Soldier 2.0 forever. This is exactly what I was expecting. Not quite. It's not perfect. But there's a lot of things to like about it, I think. And, you know, there's a lot of, I kind of have had a chance to listen to a lot of opinions on Facebook and maybe in some streams I've popped into. So I kind of get an idea of what people's thoughts are on this. And, you know, everybody's going to be different. Number one, we may have said before that we thought like a die-cast arm would be cool. And I was joking with Brick about this the other day because I know, shout out to Brick Artemis. I know he really wanted the die-cast arm. I don't particularly think that's like a miss not getting a die-cast arm. It would have been cool because it's die-cast, but I always worry with bodies that aren't mostly die-cast. Like, how is that arm going to interact with like a normal Hot Toys body over time? That's not to say that it would be a total travesty, like that they can't figure it out. But I always wonder about that. Like would it hold up over time? Would it start to sag? Because that does happen with some figures. Me personally, with this one in particular, and of course it is a case-by-case thing. Excuse me. I don't need a die-cast arm for this one. I actually really like the idea of the swap-out arms that they did. And there's a photo somewhere with all three of them. Let's see. I actually do like the idea of the swap-out arms. And sorry, I'm just blasting through the photos here. There's a bigger photo with the arms in it, I think. Let's see. Is it
They
just
had one that was just the arms themselves.
I thought it was. Maybe I got the defunct photos here. Either way, you guys saw it. You know, right here, you can see it in this photo here. There's three different arms. There's one that's in like a relaxed position, one that's in like a bent position, like he's holding a firearm, and then the other one is posable. And I think the main reason they did this is because there is a visible like single jointed arm joint there in the middle. Like I get their thinking behind this. You're right. That never really bothered me personally, but I like where they went with this. Honestly, I think the regular arm can get to a full 90, so I don't know why they made like a 90-degree bend one, because I feel like that joint would have been hidden if you had that. But I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a pretty cool idea. I like the idea of it. I like the thought of being a bit more innovative. They've done this previously with like Thanos, where he had the bent snapped arm. And I thought that was a great idea because obviously, especially with that, where it has that silicone skin touching against itself over time, you never know what can happen. So I think that was clever of them to do. We do have a genuine leather top, which obviously is a must-have for this one. The original one had incredibly bad condition issues with the pleather. I've seen more damaged ones than not for this one. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure we can all agree, like, the genuine leather was, like, if you didn't do that, that's a huge L. But the one thing that I will say about it, number one, I see a lot of people kind of debating whether it looks like Sebastian Stan. I certainly think it looks like Sebastian Stan. I try to unsee it, and I can't. It looks like Sebastian Stan to me. But the issue I do have with it, there's two things. I think I'd like to see the hair kind of restyled a little bit. I think it's a little on like the fluffier side in the front, and I know that's like not like terribly off from some of the scenes we've seen him in, but I would just like to see it maybe styled a little bit differently. My biggest complaint is the forehead. I do think that hairline comes up just a bit too high, and maybe that's what's throwing off the look for a lot of people, perhaps. Again, I certainly think it looks like Sebastian Stan. I will be honest with you, though. I'm certainly going to have mine with the mask. That's the whole, like, mystique behind the Winter Soldier when we first, like, get introduced to the character and he interacts with Cap and the other Avengers, as you're like, shit, who is this guy? You know, like, who's this guy under the mask? And that's, like, the whole cool factor to the Winter Soldier. I won't go, like, full-on goggle mode, but I think this middle mask right here is how I'll run mine, and I think I'll be pretty happy with that. And those of you who have an issue with the likeness, maybe that'll help with that. And I'm not saying, like, that should be a cover-up option, like, you know, the sculpt's so bad, cover it up. But, you know, if you decide to display it with the mask, maybe that'll help you out. Maybe that'll make you happier about it. Before I, like, go on and continue rambling, I'll let others join in. And guys in the chat, feel free to share your thoughts on this one as well. My thought is... Or my experience, sorry, I just completely went off the rails. My experience actually with the sideshow queue, I got put like 1,800 in line, 1,800 something, and I was pretty confident that I might catch the tail end of the drop, because they did do, you know, we had 3,000 worldwide, there was 1,000 of the regular edition, and then that bonus Captain America shield, there was 2,000 of those worldwide. So I thought, like, okay, maybe I'll get in on the tail end. You know, some people get that sticker shock when they go in, they see the price, they're like, oh, absolutely not, and then they pass on it. So my immediate thing was like, okay, cool, like, I'm possibly going to get it. I wasn't, like, overconfident, but I'm like, I'm possibly going to get in on the tail end. I finally got in. Of course, everybody's chatting in the Hot Toys Hotline chat. I'm getting people messaging me left and right, all my buddies, because that's what we do with drops. We just, you know, did you get it, blah, blah. And, dude, I got my Winter Soldier added to the cart. I was checking out, going through the screens. I got to the very last final checkout screen. I hit proceed to checkout, and boom, it sent me to the your cart is empty screen. And then when I get back to the main figure screen, I'm just getting that red message. And previously with, like, the Imperial Commando, I was able to just sit there and spam it for, like, 30 minutes, and eventually it threw it in my cart. And I'm telling you, bro, I went for an hour. Spamming. I was on my phone,
35,
on my computer,
40 minutes.
right? Spamming, and I didn't get it. I missed it, and, you know, I was super bummed. But, you know, I always have a backup plan, so I'm like, you know, these places are selling it overseas. I'm gonna go there. If I can't get it from Sideshow, I'll hop on the wait list, whatever. And I posted. You know, I was talking to Jose at the time, and I was like, bro, I missed. And I was talking to Justin, I'm like, bro, I missed. I was talking to everybody, and I posted on my Instagram story. And I was like, damn, I missed it out. I was like, you know, of course I was bummed, but I was like, whatever, you know, it is what it is. It happens, you know, it happens to all of us. And then I got a message from Jose, and he said, no, you didn't. And to be fair, Jose and I had been chatting, and he was like, dude, he's like, you know, I was able to get one secured through Gio, because Gio was being like a drop buddy for him. And then Jose secured one on his account, and that was going to go to Brick. And then it all fell into place. Brick was able to secure one on his account. Jose's like, dude, I got you. I have this extra one on my account. Or, excuse me, he's like, I got one on my account, so let me reach out to Gio and see if we can make this happen. And, of course, you know, Gio was so kind to me. And, Jose, I can't thank you guys enough. Gio was able to pass on that pre-order to me. So I'm very grateful. That doesn't always happen, but, you know, people in the community are awesome, and Jose and Gio really helped me out. And, you know, I was bummed, but I was like, you know what, if I have to spend overseas, that's what I'm gonna have to do, because I really want this figure. Because I sold my Infinity War Bucky, and I sold my limited, you know, the limited Endgame Cap from with the stealth suit. I sold that one as well in preparation for the new stealth suit cap in this Winter Soldier. So I was like, I got to get it, because I sold my other ones, and I want to fill that space because I love these characters. So it worked out for me. I appreciate those guys tremendously, because they really helped me out. And that put a smile on my face. And, you know, and I'm not, you know, I know that all my boys got me, and my friends know that I got them. So I hopped on the wait list. Justin, I don't know where you're standing currently with your Winter Soldier. I'm going to pass it on to you, because I know where it ended up for you. But, you know, I'm hoping, if you're still looking for one, that I hopped on that wait list so fast. I'm really hoping it converts for me, so I could help you out if you still didn't figure one out. But Yeah, Justin,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna jump
got
to you, dude. We'll hear your thoughts
yeah.
on this. We'll hear your experience in the queue. And guys in the chat, I'm gonna put up a poll as well as you're getting started talking about it, Justin. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put up a poll so people can share their thoughts on the Winter Soldier and how it went for them and if they were able to pick it up or not. But go ahead, Justin. I'm gonna pass it to you.
Yeah, mine was pretty I mean looky here. I mean look right here, dude. This is the real Winter Soldier right here. So this is all I need.
Dude, he's like lumberjack mode, man. Every
Yeah,
time we
man.
see him, he's getting thicker, bro.
I didn't get the Winter Soldier, man, and I didn't have a happy ending this time around. I didn't have a Geo. I didn't have a Jose this time around. The reason I say this time around is because I've been on the other end of it, where I've been lucky enough to get one. You know, I was irritated at first, but I really had no shot at it. Like I was at work, I only was able to get through it through my phone, and when I got in there, dude, I was close to like 4,000. So I knew it was like RIP for me. But I was able to get on the wait list. Like you said, man, the way I approach these now is like, if I miss out, I miss out. Like I'm not, this one I really wanted, but I've said that about every single one of them. And so for me, you know, after the initial like disappointment, like, all right, I'm not going to have it. It is pretty interesting psychologically. Like once you miss out, like, yeah, I was almost cool with it. I was like, okay, it didn't work out this time around. Like maybe if I really want it when it comes closer to, for it getting released, either waitlist might convert, you know, I could just pay a little bit extra to get it. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to realize, like, you know, with 2,000, man, and I just knew some people were going to miss out on it with it only being 2,000 and there not being another SKU on it, which makes it kind of more special. I mean, I'm on the fence about it, dude. Like I like the limited nature of it in terms of like, it kind of makes it a fun, like spectacle thing. But on the other side of it, I just know that if it didn't have the limited on it, you know, would people be going for it as much? And that's just how collectibles have been with every industry, with any collectible known to man, you know? So I'm not going to complain about like that, you know. I do think they missed an opportunity, though, to up this one to at least 2,500, maybe even 3,000. I think it still would have sold out. Like,
and no
quick.
Sculpted either. I'm very surprised, but
yeah,
the no Sculpted thing. Very
and the thing that I think bothered me a little bit, like again, I'm not like trying to complain, but the thing that did bother me a little bit is I saw that people were able to get both the collectors and the special in one.
Yeah, that was surprising to me. That was very surprising to me that they allowed that, because essentially, you know, it's the same figure just minus the shield accessory. I thought that it would be limited one per account regardless of what edition you got, but yeah, I was very surprised by that. I heard that some orders were getting canceled because I know some people actually did get a waitlist conversion already.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm sure it was very little. It was probably just like a quick, you know, small round of people. But yeah, I was surprised by that as well. That's a good point.
But like I said, man, I was able to get the Harley Quinn through Calvin. Shout out to Low Key Collector. I was able to get it through. So, and you know, we know the story about the U-Haul plot twist where Mike and Connor looked out for me for Jack Sparrow. Yeah. So again, man, it does make it fun. I always do like these drops simply because it almost like gets everybody to like, it kind of gets a conversation going, gets the excitement going. So I do like that. And I just missed out on it, and it is what it is. I just wish there would have been a little bit, you know, 3,000 of these with no sculpted would have been nice, especially considering they did about 6,000 altogether of the Black Widow. Yeah. I would have just liked to have seen, you know, maybe 3,000 here. I still think it would have been special and limited. But to speak on the figure real quick, I have the same kind of issues with you. I think it's just the artisan hair effect, man, because I had the same reaction when I saw the InArt Aragorn with the forehead. Yeah. And when I see other people mess with the hair and have it displayed, it looks way better than it does. So I think this will be a case of that too. And I wish they would have had the eye black here. That would have really brought it together for me. But yeah, dude, I 100% see Sebastian Stan. I think it's actually a really good sculpt.
Yeah,
and again, I think the issues I have with it are probably the ones you have with it as well. It's just the forehead, the way the artisan hair implements right here. I think it's just you know, I feel like I see that a lot when I see prototypes for artisan. Yeah. And so hopefully when this gets in hand, man, people are really you know, they can mess with it and make it look even better. But
I agree. And like I said, you know, maybe, and they've done it with Anakin, for example, you know, the artisan Anakin, his hair has been styled better in some photos and in some events than others. And I'm hoping that, like, you know, they go back to the drawing board, fix the hair a little bit, and I think it'll be much better because right now the hair does look a little bit on the sloppier side from what we've seen previously from them. So,
and quick
hoping it gets
question on this:
improved.
somebody, Big Dog Pound mentioned this, and I'm kind of piggybacking off of what he's saying, but I had the same thought. What is it with the special edition stuff? To where with the Black Widow, the special edition had more units,
Right, a
than
larger
the other
unit.
one.
I don't get that either.
I don't understand what if they're trying to sweeten
Just
the
do a
pot or
flat
what.
3,000, for example.
Yeah.
And just do all shields. Like I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get that either. You would think it'd be the other way around. 2,000 regular, and then only 1,000 have the shield.
Yeah, so
I
it's
don't
been
know.
bizarre. This like special edition bonus. Like I would like to see something a little bit more. Again, I already feel like an artisan drop is a special edition thing. I don't feel like you need to sweeten it with anything unless it's going to be massive. And the last thing I want to say, I really like what they're doing with these artisan Marvel bases a lot. I really like it.
Yeah, that like
It
Hydra
doesn't add
base
too
is
much
dope.
height to the figure, and I really like the square. I feel like you can probably bump those up against each other a little bit easier. And
Let me pull up that Hydra base. There you go. That Hydra base is sick. I really like that.
yeah,
as
I just
well.
like the simplicity of it. I like the logo on it. And again, we'll see what happens with the magnetic, but which I'm hit or miss on. Like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, depending on the day.
Dude,
But,
Caustic
yeah.
Plastic. They're the only ones so far where I've had no issues, bro. So I'll tell you a quick little, like literally a 10-second story. I had a figure fall over the other day, and it bumped into the back of Bela Lugosi while he was on the magnetic base, and Bela was holding him up from his feet being magnetized to the base. He's just like, he's like holding on. It's like in Spider-Man when he's holding the train back with the webs, and he's like, you know what I mean? So I was like, damn, okay, that's a testament to some good magnets right there. But yeah, like, and I will say, InArt's more recent figures, the magnets have been better. They definitely have been better. They've been stronger. Paul has not fallen over at all yet. Harry hasn't fallen over. Ron, they've all been good. The Joker, he's like leaning against my display like this, like once a week. So I'm gonna have to swap out the base for him. But they have been better. But yeah, I agree. I think this looks great, dude. I love the, and I'm leaning more towards the simplistic bases lately, just because the footprint is smaller, and I don't need a diorama of a city with every single. You know
That's
what I mean?
me, dude. That's 100% where I'm at too.
And that
Connor.
wasn't
Like,
me a year ago, but right now I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't need Spider-Man standing on a building with every single. You know what I mean?
Unless it really like, I mean, there's a few exceptions to that for sure. I know we're going to talk about something later on that I think the diorama base looks absolutely stunning, but some of these bases I feel like don't even really go with anything. But the most exciting thing I have with this dude is the materials. Like I've been saying this about the Indiana Jones figure coming out from Hot Toys. Like I'm very excited about the leather materials coming out, and I really do want to see the mechanic that they're going to use with that figure, which is it's the calf grabber. It basically goes up and grabs the leg from up under the pant
and
leg.
it kind of creeps up into the pants.
Yeah, so I want to see more of that too, because I do like the stability of that, but also it kind of conceals it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like almost like having him standing on his own, but it's just that little extra bit of stability.
Yeah.
I think it'll be perfectly fine. And it's like, I like that, and I like the Joker where you can peg his foot into the base. I think that's clever too. So wherever they can innovate with that stuff, it's like the waist grabbers need to freaking go, man. I'm sick of the waist grabbers. And if you're going to do a waist grabber, which obviously for a character that flies or jumps, you have to, do it better. Stop reusing the same crap. That's the thing. Bro, I opened up my Avatar figures the other day, and I love them so much. And when I saw that freaking waist grabber sitting in that box, I'm like, dude, get out of here with that crap, man.
Yeah, it's brutal, man. I mean, those figures are already tough to kind of like, because you can see the visible joints up. But yeah, I was the same way, man. I was like, dang, man, a waist grabber. But I mean, I guess maybe the weight of
I was expecting that little hook. That little hook that comes up. Like for Thanos, he has that. Or like the bigger, I know Hulk never came with a base, but.
Oh, the Kenobi Vader had that as well.
Yeah, like that's what I was expecting. And I'm like, that would have been perfect. So I'm going to buy those hooks somewhere. I'm sure there's someone selling them by themselves. But yeah, I'm not using the grabbers, man. I'm not using it. By the way, 12-inch Moose Stream, the GOAT. Channel member for 13 months. Thank you so much, my friend, for the amazing support. You and everybody else is, OG fan has also been a channel member forever. Chunker, all you guys know. I appreciate each and every one of you. Moose says, InArt victim waiting for my Dune Paul A replacement. Yeah, I think, Moose, you were one of the ones that got the sculpted when you're supposed to get the rooted version. I know that happened to quite a few people. that was such a bizarre thing, and it's crazy that you're still waiting for that. Like, that should have been taken care of already. That's bizarre. So sorry to hear that it happened to you, but I'm sure they'll take care of you. But yeah, that sucks. I would have been really pissed, especially because I was gonna do a video of mine. If that happened to me, I would have been so pissed. So sorry to hear that, bro. 1/6 Lover says they should have included the poster sniper as a spec. Yeah, that would have been cool too. Like, yeah, I feel like the cap shield should have been just like an included accessory, because like that scene is so badass when he catches the shield and tosses it back and everything. Like, I feel like that should have been a just an included accessory. But again, the whole thing with the exclusive accessory being the less limited version is so weird to me. What's up, Ray Lurtz? Ray says, if they fix the forehead, I will be happy. I agree. I'm right there with you. And I've seen some people make comments about the proportions on the body. Like, maybe he's like a little on the skinnier side, but I still think he looks pretty good. I don't want to tear this figure to shreds because I'm very happy that it's a thing. Very happy I was able to secure one thanks to Jose and Gio. But, yeah. I like I said, I don't want to sit here and hate on it because I don't hate the figure. I think it looks pretty cool. It just needs some improvement. It's not like perfect right now. It's certainly not. Tom Daly says, I hate the people bashing Sideshow and the Q system. What else would you? Yeah, I mean, I don't. The Q system is what it is, And like Justin said, this is nothing new. Other hobbies, this is just part of the game. Limited collecting. That's how it works. It sucks. It sucks to miss. And maybe I'm just happy that I was able to get one through someone else, and maybe that's swaying my opinion on it. But I've missed on Artisan Anakin. I had to buy that overseas, so it just happens sometimes. And yeah, I don't know how I would do it any differently. Jose said I'll check in with Justin for future job. Yeah. Jose's like the dude from Game of Thrones that has the network of the children spies in King's Landing. Was it? I always forget his name. Varys, is that his name?
Varys, yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing character.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Jose. No, dude, I've been lucky enough to especially as soon, I was pretty new to, I mean, I'm still new, but like I said, I've had people look out for me right out of the gate. So that, again, man, definitely I appreciate it. But Jesse. So, no, yeah. I was gonna say, man, I do think that when we're all forced to open up 8 browsers, 25 different tabs. I'm sure that slows it down a bit too when we're all trying to open up different browsers, open up different tabs. Yeah. Some people I think are in there probably trying to get multiples on different accounts. I mean, it's all a perfect storm of I saw Big Dog Pound said it's kind of turned into the sneaker game. Definitely, man.
It's very similar, yeah.
Yeah, it very much is, man.
Yeah, very similar. But I get it. I was sad to hear Jazzy missed out too, and everybody, like I said, everybody was kind of messaging me because we were all kind of sharing our pain together, and then Jose and my boy Gio helped me out. SG Collectibles, what's up, my dude? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here as always. It's great to see you. Let's see. I missed. Oh, here's the comment I wanted to. And yes, Chunker, thanks for pointing this out. The other thing that we did not mention is the skin on the neck right now, which I'm sure they're going to fix this. It is off color. You can see it in some of these photos here. Oh, this one right here. You see how it's like a darker, it looks like an unpainted plastic, and maybe they did that just because it's a prototype, but it's certainly not the same color. So yes, thank you for putting that. I completely forgot to mention that. I agree, Sean. They should have made a sculpted version. It's so bizarre that they didn't. I have no idea why they didn't. I'm still puzzled by that. Dirk Diggler's in the house. That is that is not the version of that character I remember. Dirk says, couldn't they do this figure like Jack Sparrow where we got multiple faceplates? Probably, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they could have. Maybe farther back where the hair kind of covers a seam, they could have done that. I was kind of wondering the same thing. I don't know. I'm surprised. Justin brought it up. Why didn't they do the raccoon eye sculpt? I don't know. By the way, what's up, Ash Chase? I hope you're doing well. I saw you pop in. Ash says, what would have been cool is if they add a battle damage mask with the bullet. That's a great idea. That would have been, me. I love my battle damage. Absolutely love my battle damage. So,
well, and we 100% are going to be getting a Thunderbolts Bucky, I would assume, right, Connor? Yeah. With this new head sculpt. They're going to that'd be a quick figure to kind of turn around for that movie too, I feel like. So that might be our sculpted version, which isn't the Winter Soldier, but if you like this look for Bucky where he doesn't have the mask on, that's another option for you to kind of have a Bucky-esque, again, it's not Winter Soldier. You said it best, dude. Having the mask on's the look for me too, because that's the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Bucky's
and then the
mystique,
the mystique behind the Winter Soldier and finding out who he was and what happened to him and the depth to the character. And that's what made us fall in love with the character because, he was badass and, You find out about what happened with Tony Stark's parents, and you're like, shit, this guy's a freaking crazy dude, man. And it's like a sad story at the same time, because you figure out like everything that he was forced to do and everything. So it's a really cool character, and I think that's why people are so passionate about this particular version of him, because this is, if you want one Bucky / Winter Soldier, this is it. This is the one to have. The Civil War one is like the discount version of this one. I'm sorry that it is. Everybody wants this version. This is the version they want. So I get it. That's why people are so passionate about it, because they're like, look how they massacred my boy. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. What's up, Feel the Burn? Great to see you as always, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And David dropping in at the same time. David says, David says Hot Toys will more than likely drop a sculpted version in the near future. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I didn't get to give him an official welcome, because he came in right as we were jumping to Justin. But Mike's in the house. Mike, thank you so much for being here, bro. Winter Soldier, dude. It's so funny because I messaged you right after the drop, and I'm like, dude, I missed. You're like, damn, you should have told me. I'm like, dude, Jose said he had you locked in for a drop, buddy, man. He messaged me so fast. He's like, dude, I got him locked in. Don't even try it. It's just
yeah. I was driving to the dentist when I got your message, and I was like breaking the law with one hand trying to get in there for you. And the frustrating thing about the system, like, I think it's fair. I'm cool with it and all. Yeah. The only thing I think they need to fix, and I think you might have touched on this, is like, once you get in and you click that add to cart,
should be locked in for a certain amount of time, bro.
Like when you get that red banner, someone else has it in your cart, and then you're in that game for an hour, like, that's the drag. You know what I mean? You've already played the lottery. You got your spot in line, and then you can't get it in your cart. That's the worst part about it to me. But anyway, what's up, chat? What's up? Hottie Prime, Hottie Lane, Hottie, how's your finger? I'm so happy to be on this panel, with these great guys, man. Oh, what a night. And I'm not at work. I'm at home. So.
I know, we got you all to ourselves. Finally.
Yeah, dude, it's great.
Dude, absolutely diabolical that Connor puts the Ash Chase chat right over your face as you're doing your intro, bro. That's just diabolical.
Well, Justin, I have some words for you, pal. Stand down. Final warning.
All right, deal. Fair.
No, he's saving the chat from having to look at whatever's growing on my face.
It's the Mountain Man phase, dude. You're like Bruce Wayne making a comeback.
But that's true. That's true. What Mike's saying, though, man, is.
What's up?
Did Lane say you were looking like a senior? Is that what you said, Lane?
I said Grizzly Adams Jr.
Oh, I was like,
yeah. It's dude, funny. Somebody called me Grizzly Adams at work today, so yeah, there must be something to
Grizzly Adams had a beard?
I think, Justin, I think I remember Mike saying he was starting his Balin Skull cosplay now for next Halloween, so he has to start growing it out. So I think that's what he was going for.
But is Mike like 6'4"?
Am I what?
That's right. Ray Stevenson was pretty tall. Ray Stevenson was 6'4".
Mike might get hooked up to the rack.
No, they cast the right replacement.
They cast. I know. Yeah, the dude who played the Mountain. I always forget his name. He was great. I loved him as the Mountain, but yeah. Sorry, not the Mountain. The Hound. I said the Mountain.
The Hound. I was going to say the Mountain. No, the Mountain's really.
The Mountain would have been a horrible. Yeah, that would have been horrible.
Yeah, he's way bigger than Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, the Hound. I think he's going to do a great job. But
I do too. That guy's he's awesome.
Yeah. It's funny. Like when I started my job, I met this guy. He looked exactly like the Hound. I was a little afraid of him at first. But I remember to be a really nice dude. That's quite a look huge, that he has.
He's huge. And when you see him in that fight, I'm not. It's not a spoiler at this point. When the final battle between him and the Mountain. You really realize those guys are pretty close in size. Like he's a tall. Rory McCann, is that his name? I think that just came to me.
That sounds right.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, he's a Mountain fight Conor McGregor. In like a spar, like they're just sparring. Dude, Conor McGregor looks like a 4-year-old.
Oh, I
mean, he is just
he's
like
a small dude. Surprisingly,
he's a small guy.
He's a small guy.
I would never mess with Conor, but the Mountain dude, he's just swatting him away. Like Conor was completely powerless. It's really interesting to watch. Check it on YouTube. But
he's a small dude in comparison. That's for sure.
Yeah. But as far as this figure though, I was looking up pictures. I'm no Winter Soldier expert, but like I was looking up Sebastian Stan, and in my opinion, the forehead isn't that inaccurate. I mean, if like, might be a little bit hard to see, but I mean, like the guy doesn't have a very small forehead.
No, he doesn't. It's just
not
slightly too tall.
Here's
like
the problem with
too
it.
tall to me.
I think it's the framing of the hair. And I think if this was a sculpted hair style, I don't think you would notice it as much. It's just framed that way. And this is my issue with this figure, and this is my issue with rooted hair in general, is it's very hit or miss for me. I got really lucky with my Bruce Wayne, my InArt Batman. I have seen some pictures where, and I'm so happy that the people who own the figure are happy
I
with
just
it.
got mine today, and mine wasn't that bad, dude. It really wasn't.
Okay, because I've seen some figures where people are like, yo, check it out. Like, this is the best head sculpt. And I'm like, I'm happy you're happy with that hair. If I got that, I would be like, this looks terrible.
I'll show you my copy.
You know,
and we'll
it's
see
very
if I
hit or
got-
miss.
Let's see if I got scammed, guys. We're going to see. I think mine's actually pretty good. It looks a little rough from the back, like the hairs, there's loose hairs, but I can fix that.
Make yourself,
Yeah, I think my copy is pretty decent.
yeah, like that looks great.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
I'd be happy
like
with
that's
that.
pretty decent. I
But,
don't,
you know,
I don't
we've
think I
all-
did bad at all. Yeah.
No, we've all seen the ones that look like Bruce Wayne, and, and they're not messy enough, right? Like, but again, I got lucky. It's just very frustrating, especially when it's a company like InArt, which is like hard to contact, and not that you would send a figure back for like hair that wasn't perfect to your liking, but it's a risk, in my opinion, when you go rooted. It's a big risk.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and this, I think, is suffering from it in the way that, like, you know, when you meet somebody with a toupee and you're like, don't look, and you're like Austin Powers, like, mole, you know, and it's just like, this I find to be extremely distracting. Whereas when I've had people over recently looking at my InArt Batman, and I have to tell them, hey, by the way, do you see that that's real hair there? And they're like, oh my God, yeah, that's amazing. So the fact that they don't notice it is almost like a compliment to the figure, because it's not distracting, and it's not like, is that like, that looks a little funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it should be like a good special effect, where the best special effect you don't notice. Whereas this, I think you would notice. It looks like poofy doll hair to me, and I really hope they'll fix it. And they fixed the Joker. If you remember, the Joker promo pictures weren't great, and people like myself were like, dude, I think the sculpted looks better. I'm going sculpted. It's cheaper, and I think it looks better. The release looks fantastic, though. So they improved it. I'm hoping they do the same for this. I'm hoping they do the same thing for Dark Empire Luke. So,
and like Anakin, I mentioned Anakin earlier. Like Anakin, like he's looked awful in some of the displays at events, and then recently he's looked great.
He's looked great in the controlled environment of a blogger, not a blogger photo, but you know, their in-house photos. Yeah. So I look, we're judging everything. Okay, here's another point. I don't think that the imposter Joker hair looks good. I would be very disappointed with that as a collector.
In comparison now to the main Artisan Joker, it looks awful.
There's a difference. And what did they do? Did they learn from that or something? Or did they just have a different factory do it? Or a different
Eureka! That's
5 people. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you, man. You know, if the hair came out, Mike, I really do agree with what Mike said. That's a great way of wording it. I was trying to articulate when I was agreeing with you, Connor, on the forehead, that what I was trying to articulate with that Aragorn figure was the same issue I saw, was the framing of it. Like, once I saw people mess with it and do what they needed to do with it, it looked good. But right out of the box, man, I was thinking like, dude, that forehead just looks off. And the sculpted, oddly enough, like looked good to me, like initially. And I just think when they're doing sculpted hair, like they're doing with the Rain Carradine figure from Hot Toys, that sculpted hair, if we're getting that quality of sculpted,
it looks
then I'm going sculpted
good
all day long, man. Like, I'll just go sculpted all day. Like, I don't need the artisan drop for everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's this one, that was the only option people had. But I guarantee you, if there was a sculpted option, man, a lot of people would have went that route for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, in other words, it's like it's how do I say it? It's not a guarantee. It's not always better to get the rooted. It's an individual figure by figure basis. It's a case by case basis. There you go.
It's like a lot of people are wishing for a rooted hair Obi-Wan, and I don't know if that's the right move for that one. I really don't. I mean, is it doable? Yes. I mean, Hot Toys proved like at least in the prototype, like the Tom Holland head sculpt on the Endgame Iron Spider looks pretty good. Like the rooted hair looks good, but Obi-Wan, that styling of his hair, I don't know if that's the right move. I don't know if like we need a rooted hair Obi-Wan. Would I buy it? Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I will
For
say
artisan prices, man. Like I just think that for artisan price, like you're paying for the hair basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, good thing is this one's got like different materials up, but I mean, it's pretty much a figure with a magnetic base, and you're paying that extra money for the hair. So the hair has got to be.
It's like a lot of these figures, dude. You're paying like an extra $150, $200 for the rooted hair.
You
like,
are.
It's a big selling point, so you want it to be as good as possible.
And I'm not paying.
Dude, I've seen some people talking about this. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not paying an extra whatever 150 upwards to receive a figure that I'm disappointed with and have to style. No, the point, like, rooted is supposed to come with product in it, finished and done. And if you touch it, you're going to screw it up. Or if you mess with it, you're going to like it's supposed to come finished, in my opinion. When I see people go, hey, and this is it. And like, now I'm going to get some water and some gel and a toothbrush. And I'm like, get the hell out of here.
You know who really scared me? Mike D'Lo. Shout out to D'Lo. He did his video on the InArt Batman, and towards the end, he like flared the hair out to like show you how to properly style it.
Yeah,
dude, I was like, I would die. I couldn't do it.
It's supposed to come.
Yeah,
final
he did a great job on it. I'm like, dude, I would die. I would die.
Yeah, and that's not exactly. I want to be clear. Like, I'm not knocking D'Lo or people that feel comfortable doing that and turn it into something great. But in my opinion, you should not have to put work into it. You know, and that's maybe why I like the security sometimes. Like, for example, I think the Joker sculpted looks freaking awesome. And if you don't believe me, check out Zord photography. Like, check out these people that take amazing photos, and you really have to zoom in to be like, oh, damn, that's the sculpted. Like, they look great. So
Hot Toys, and I like that Justin used the example of Rain because that just shows like where they are with their sculpted
Rain is
hair
a great,
right now. It looks amazing. They did such a great job, and
I would much rather that. Look at Dark Empire Luke. I mean, it's literally two different head sculpts. Yeah. It's the same head sculpt, but looks like a different head sculpt. And I really hope they do something with his hair.
I think they'll probably thin it out a little bit. They did that with the Joker. Like, the final product was much more thinned out. I didn't personally have much of an issue with the Dark Empire. I remember you were talking about it, but real quick, I want to say what's up to some people. We've had a lot of people pop in. Guys, I appreciate all the comments. We got Christian Crosshair Cooper in the house. By the way, guys, 75 people watching. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream and keep sharing your thoughts in the chat, and I will read your comments as quick as I can. So Christian Crosshair Cooper says, what's up, guys? What's up, Christian? I hope you're doing well, my friend. I saw Luke Christian popping in. What's up, Luke? We also got Figure It Out in the chat. What's up, Figure It Out? Great to see you as always. Figure It Out says, I secured my Winter Soldier by continuously hitting. Oh, so you did what I failed to do. Because that was me for an hour, dude. I'm sitting there like spamming I'm probably making weird faces at my monitor. Like, I was so pissed, dude. I was done, man. And I got Evil Sneaker messaging me the whole time. Oh no, like he felt bad for him, and I'm like, Steve, shut up. I'm trying to get this Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. 1 second.
No problem. Just after about 10 minutes, one added. Thanks be to Jeebus. Well, congrats on that, dude. I'm glad you're able to get one. And everybody that took an L, guys, there's always a W on the horizon. There's always something new. You know, like I said, and I was willing, if it's a figure that you're willing to shout a little bit extra money for, there's always a way to get it. And if you're not, then skip on it. There's always something better on the horizon, you know. Unless the Winter Soldier is your absolute favorite character, then maybe you'll spend the money. I mean, I said it many times. I thought, if I don't get this Artisan Anakin, I'm going to drop some money on it because I have to have it. So that was the one. I was willing to drop some money on it. But Batman Collectibles in the house. What's up, dude? Speaking of Batman Collectibles, I just got my 2022 Jazz Inc. Batmobile, and I finally got my first Jazz Inc. Batmobile, and that was a really fun experience. Collecting Madness was over at my house, and we unboxed it together. And I was cracking up, and I'll tell you guys a little story about that, because I'm like, oh, this fog machine, I know I'm only going to use it once, but let's try it out. And we're sitting there pressing the button. I'm like, why is the fog not coming out? And I've seen it before where some of these fog machines and these like toy vehicles have to like heat up a little bit. And I'm sitting there pressing the button. And I'm like, what's going on, man? Do I need to put more water? And we're just adding more water. And then when I had opened it up, I noticed there was like a little rubber stopper in it. and you put it over the hole where you fill in the water. And I thought like you fill it up. I was thinking of like a squirt gun, you know, the old school squirt guns we had. You fill it up and you put the little stopper back in. So I was putting the stopper back in, but apparently you're just supposed to put that in just to keep the water from spilling out when you're not using it. Because the moment I removed the stopper and it started fogging, Chris and I looked at each other like, wow, we are both idiots. So yeah, moral of the story, guys, if you get a Jazz Ink Batmobile that creates fog, don't leave the rubber stopper in there because it doesn't work. Blue Tattoo, what's up, Blue Tattoo? Blue Tattoo says there's no excuse for Hot Toys to announce these questionable head sculpts in likeness with messy weave. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I'm hoping they will improve this. I don't think this is their best artisan by any means. I'm very happy with the sculpt. The hair definitely needs work though. The hairline especially looks pretty rough. But yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too, it sold out. So I mean, you know, it's one of those things where like
that's
you
true.
know, people are still buying it is the thing, you know.
And they always will, especially for a character like this, they always will. They always will. And that's and I'm part of it. I can't say I'm saying
I think
like
the
it's not
sculpt
me,
looks
you know?
I think the sculpt work is fantastic on this. I personally think the sculpt is great. Like I do think there's something off with this, probably what we've already talked about a little bit, but the sculpt itself, man, I definitely, especially the eyes, dude, and the jaw, I think look really good.
I agree. I think it looks just like Sebastian Stan. I will die on that hill with Justin and Mike. And the hair, though, I will not die on that hill. I'm not going on that hill. Chunker says, and Lane, sorry, we'll get to. I know, Lane, you've been waiting so patiently. Look, the way Lane just laughed without even moving his face muscles. I'm like, he's like, I'm tired of waiting, you little rat. But Chunker says, just because you get onto the webpage, it doesn't mean you have one there for you. If there's 1,000 available, if I could change one thing about the Sideshow queue, I would say you add it to cart, you get 2 minutes to hold it in your cart. I think that's more than fair. People are still fighting for an hour after the drop, so, you know, I don't really think that's going to affect anything too much. It got ripped right out of my cart, and I was like, damn, I was literally clicking checkout. I was at the final screen, so it's awesome. I had no QC issues. Nothing was wrong with mine. It was perfect. Just absolutely perfect experience. I love it, and I'm so happy I got it. And then my InArt the Batman 2-pack shows up today, and I have no issues with that. So now my 2022 shelf is looking great. I cannot wait to get it all set up. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm really, really happy with it. My 89 should ship next month. So after that, then I will pre-order the BTAS Batmobile, and then I'll be done with Batmobiles for quite a while. That's crazy. That is crazy. Figured Out says he could watch the Winter Soldier movie on his forehead. Boba Fettuccine in the house, a channel member and a good friend. Boba Fettuccine says, not my thing, but that's a spanking looking good figure. I like it. Yeah, dude, I think it's cool, man. A little bit of improvement on the hair, and I will be a very happy camper. Speaking of Brick Artemis, I mentioned Brick Artemis earlier as we were talking about the Winter Soldier. What's up, Brick? Thank you so much for being here, bro. As always, I hope you're doing well. We got to get Brick back on soon for sure. But Lane, the ever patient Lane, we're going to jump to you, Lane, before we move on to our next figure. I just want to hear what, you know, if you have brief thoughts, because I know we've covered a lot, share your thoughts and experience in the queue system, Lane. You know, sometimes we take the L's, Lane. Did you take the L in the Winter Soldier? And what are your thoughts on this prototype? Oh, yeah. Lane just gets right to it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I can't really add anything. I think the figure like this looks okay, but I can see sometimes where people were saying, like, I don't know, Affleck from certain things. Just
I was seeing a lot of Tom Cruise, Lane.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Tom Cruise. Like I know I'm not seeing Tom, especially modern Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise finally started to age, like in the last couple of years.
But not Paul Rudd. But not Paul Rudd.
No, I'm not. No, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, relatively for a guy who's like only 5 years younger than Cruise, is
now that's a sculpt. That Ant-Man sculpt. Wow, man, that's a
that's
some heat.
That is the one that should be out. My thing with this is still just the look with the leather jacket and the arm. I really wish I kind of wish this was just a sculpted hair, not a artisan figure, because that way it'd be available to everybody to get. I honestly don't really care about the artisan for this guy very much. I think just having a really well done sculpted hair would have been perfect. Have him be like $305 and have him be $305, maybe $310 for the switch out, and just have him be a regular figure. Where, you know, because you'll be able to sell for at least $4,000 to $5,000 of this guy.
let me ask you.
Especially,
I want to pose a question to you, Lane. Sorry to cut you off, but it's going along with your point. Lane, if you could make the decision for Hot Toys right now to drop the Artisan and do a sculpted version, but it also comes with the raccoon eyes sculpt as well, would you make that choice? So that's a tough one, because we know the Artisan's tough because they're not going to give you two hair. They're not going to give you two
my
real hair
problem
sculpts,
partially
you know?
is because they put out the Winter Soldier cap.
Yeah.
Those two are meant to go together. So, like, if you have the cap,
Like
this
white
is
on
the
rice,
figure to
man.
have with it. But that being said, like, this was never one I was going to get because I'm mostly done with Marvel. Like, I'm just not going back. I'm Star Wars. Like, there's so many Star Wars figures I can barely keep up with, and I'm just waiting possibly for Revenge of the Sith to come raining down on us in a couple months. And just
I can't wait for that. I'm actually excited to be rained on.
Well, I mean, because there is going to be some Artisan figure like from that movie. There will be, I don't know who it'll be, but there will be somebody who's an Artisan.
Yeah.
I've already got like General Grievous and the Emperor. I mean, I got a lot of stuff from that. So that's more what I would be nervous about is, they do like an
Bring it
Artisan
on.
Obi-Wan. I mean, I already got 3 effing Obi-Wans. I don't know if I need a 4th one.
You know me, Lane. Any Obi-Wans or Anakins, they're coming home.
I know.
Baby.
Oh, I know. But I honestly, for where I honestly, I don't agree with you completely. I think the head sculpt's okay. I just don't think it's that great. Like it's a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me. So it's not the worst. Like it's not the worst. It's not that Paul Rudd sculpt that we got with Ant-Man, which was garbage. That's like straight trash. I think that one is better.
Straight trash.
Well, and I think the costume, like his costume, looks great. Like the actual costume and how it looks, I think is great. But
How do you feel about the proportions, Lane? Because like I said, some people were commenting on like they thought that maybe he was slightly not bulky enough.
I think maybe in the upper chest and shoulders, maybe he could
It's
be
like that
little
V
bit thicker.
taper. He has that like tapered
Yeah.
upper body, and like they could have made him a bit
He
wider.
he looked a little. It felt like he was more bigger upper body, but a little skinnier on the legs. Like he felt like he had a stronger upper body.
He gets
to him.
much bigger for Civil War. Like Civil War,
Yeah.
Bucky
Yeah.
looks bigger than he does in
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. And I don't know if that's the way they filmed it. Sometimes the angles they choose
With
because they
different-
wanted
yeah.
to make Winter Soldier look imposing in this, so they chose a lot of different angles.
I was going to
with
say
action
that it's
sequences.
also part of his performance. Like he
Yeah.
portrays himself as bigger than he actually. You know what I mean? It's like one of those
Yeah,
performances.
it's like
he's
Tom Hardy portrayed himself as being
exactly like
six-
they're like
like
walking
he's
tanks.
like 6'4". Yeah, he's like 6'4".
And Tom Hardy's like, dude, I was
pounds,
fat
and he's
as
5'9".
Bane. He's like, I just ate a bunch of food. Like
Yeah, and he's only
it's
but like
absolutely-
he's like 5'9" or 5'10".
right. Yeah,
um,
great example. Yeah.
But so that Bane feels more out of actual proportion for the actual actor than
That figure is so sick, though, dude. I got mine in the other day. and
I'm
I
just
love
saying
it
for
so
the
much.
actual actor, if you
phenomenal.
see that, it's
Yeah.
like you look at that and you compare it and say, "Hey, this is the guy who played this character." You're gonna look at it like,
Yeah.
What? Like that guy looks like he's a 6'4" monster. He looks like the Mountain, or he looks like the Hound in size.
And I would have just liked to have seen. I would have just liked to have seen personally, man. I've said this for a while. Like this goes back all the way before I even started collecting. 6 scale is when it comes to limited stuff. I already feel like this is a premium collectible. That's and it is what it is because with the whole 2020 to
It's premium,
whatever. I
but
know a
it's
lot of
pre-
people.
It's premium already if it was just a sculpted figure being over $300 because that's on a higher end tier for even
Yeah,
regular
exactly.
Hot Toys
That's what I'm saying. I don't think 10 years from now, like people are gonna look back and be like, man, I gotta find that Artisan limited to 2,000. I just don't think
Yeah.
it carries like that over the long haul. Like a lot of the limited stuff that really becomes rare and limited never had the limited sticker on it.
It's always
And-
stuff that nobody wants. Like
Mhm.
maybe those Arcane figures, those might be chase
Yeah.
figures in the future. Or like
because
you know,
they barely
even
made
Tech.
any of them.
right, and even
Tech.
Tech. Look what Tech is selling for. He's already up to like $400 on eBay. Those figures, I don't know what people thought was going to happen. I don't know if they thought we were going to get those
even
awful,
going-
ugly season 2 variants. But
even for as much hype as you have for Artisan Anakin, because there might be other figures or whatever.
I wouldn't be opposed to this. I don't know about you guys. I would not be opposed to a 24-hour window because I've done this previously. Like Mondo does that sometimes as well. For some of they do the timed exclusives and then they do the limited stuff.
See, Chunker just used the exact example I was going to make up for one that is fit this format for doing that, the WB 100 Wonder Woman. But I was going to cut myself off.
It's just the demand for that one. I feel like because she's the only rooted hair Wonder Woman right now. It's like, and that's a great figure.
And you're not going to see another unless it's like a go back to another Gal Gadot. Like
InArt's going to do one, but it seems like based on what they've been saying, it's going to be quite a while before she comes out.
Yeah.
So.
And she might, by the time we see her, there might be a new Wonder Woman in the DCU or something.
Or maybe J&D will do one for $1,800.
But this, I just didn't want to
hold
get distracted.
What, dude?
Dude, what is happening, bro?
Dude, you look like the guy from Orange County Choppers. What is going on? What is
I mean, Mike looks like he's now part of like freaking one of the Sons of Anarchy or something.
Bro, he looks like the dad from Orange County Choppers.
Or he's preparing to be a Raza. He's preparing for his Raza, like Liam Neeson Raza Ghul, like cosplay.
Dude,
there you go. That would be perfect. Yeah,
that would be pretty good, actually. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've just been growing this out for a week. But
I'm. Anyway, okay, all right. I'm going to get back and make my point. I was going to get back to Winter Soldier.
Hold on, Lane.
What made you want to do that, dude?
We can't just have him show up like this and just accept it for what it is. We got to understand what the hell just happened.
Because I thought he stepped away because like something came up, and then he comes back and he's looking like Hulk Hogan's a great example.
I would like to be the first mega.
Well, if he's being Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, boo. Boo! Boo! There we go.
Listen,
That's a perfect Hulk Hogan response right now.
I'll ask my wife if this should stay or not. We'll see. But
no, I don't know what to say.
Change
that is what we call radical change in a short. That is.
Do you like
social media change?
I hate it.
You hate it? See, I think it's quite flattering on
Sean, it makes you look 10 years older. Sean did something like that one time. I can't remember. I think he might have had a similar facial hairstyle. Sean did something similar one time, but it was before the stream. I don't think anybody could say they shaved during a stream. Left.
I'm trying to think of a good Ra's al Ghul line right now. But
you're just trying to raise the bar, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something from the kids.
Okay, we're getting to boy. Thanks, Mike. Off the rail.
Finish your thoughts.
Almost off the rail.
This is my artisan stash. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, you open that box up.
See, you say that now. That means every time there's an art discussion, you're gonna have to have that facial.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm trying to remember what. Hold on, I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, dude, where's our Manscaped hookup, dude? Yeah. The Lawnmower 5.0 or whatever.
That was the razor that I did use that razor. I double dipped.
Okay, now I got it. I couldn't remember. Yeah, there was Hulk Hogan.
One razor to rule it all.
Mike is now Randy Hogan, the jobber wrestler for WCW.
I'm the jobber. I got my little tights on.
Yes, 1-6 Star Wars Pimpozoid. We do get our break for now. Although you say that, and then
but there's stuff still coming. We haven't gotten yet.
Like I know Jose's been getting. Yeah, Jose's like, dude, I got more invoices today. I'm like, me too.
There's a ton of figures that haven't come yet that are still coming that have been released. I mean, we're like way back. People are just getting
right, dude.
People are still just getting Tekken, and he was like 2.5 months ago. Don't think you're safe, just because even if you may have something, you might have like Venom. Or ATRT.
Dude, I just got the Avatar figures. I just got the Avatar figures. This isn't Doe time. This is the get complacent, and then the great white shark comes up and hits you from underneath. You're the sea lion, and the great and Hot Toys is still a great white coming directly at you from under the sea. The thing I like best about this figure. Yeah, Lane, close out your thoughts because I know we gotta.
Yeah, we've been on this for a while.
Can I just highlight Genitalia's comment because that's first of all a great name, Jenna.
Which one? There's been many zingers from Genitalia.
The second most recent.
Hulk Hogan vibe.
She goes, OMG, Yeah,
Dude, I didn't even notice at first. I just thought you came back on. I was intently
That's
listening to Lane, and then I looked down and I was like, "What am I looking at, dude?"
I was
Shang
staring too
Tsung
much
is at the bottom of my screen. It's
OMG,
crazy.
you shaved my clitoris. Okay, okay, Jenna.
I get it now. I get it.
Get it now.
I get it
We see
now.
what you did there.
We got Mortal Kombat. We've got Mortal Kombat mythologies.
Well, he's the Shang Tsung, like when he shrivels up when he loses all the souls.
Yeah,
That's what he is.
yeah, like old
Right.
yeah.
But I'm sorry, Lane, I cut you off. Go ahead.
But I was just going to finish saying the selling points to me for this figure are the leather chest armor and the arm. Like that combination there to me. If this was sculpted, if this was a sculpted thing, that would offset. Boom, sold. Even though I might be like, I'm out. This is too cool looking. I have to get it. I'll figure it with something for the few. He'll go with some of the couple still remaining Marvel Hot Toys I have, kind of thing, whether they're tied into the movie. That is not a thing that looks
Watch
any
out
good.
for the Amazing Spider-Man.
No, your
Dude.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we're
200 large, baby. 200 large.
This, honestly, this is probably in recent times one of the most shit on figures I've seen in a while. Like, dude, the comments were rough on this one on Facebook. I'm gonna say my piece on it. I think it's cool. Like I kind of dig the colors. I think the outfit's cool. It's a neat figure. But why, dude, this is Hono, by the way, guys. This is the Hono, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the new show. Why is this figure $200? I don't understand the Hono price points. They're all over the place, and we started so good. We got the tiger stripe suit Logan for $160, and it's just gone up and up and up. The 175 for the black suit pissed us off.
We were commenting on that one. I was going to say, like,
how much was the Iron Man?
210.
Look, I mean, come on, man! Like $10 cheaper.
And this is all he comes with, though. Like, this is it. This is all he comes with. He comes with nothing.
It's literally almost all the same. The backpack, the same thing. It's come with the symbiote suit.
Right, and that one's $175, and we were upset about that one. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it looks so cool. I like the look. I think it's a neat little look. It's like a animated take on like a homemade suit, but it's like,
you know, I'll be honest with you. I don't think putting entry grade as a selling point is smart at all.
For $200,
not for $200.
It makes it seem like, hey, this is the cheap option. You know, like if you want stuff that's not real Hot Toys, but you want like, Walmart brand Hot Toys. This is entry grade. I know what they're trying to say, but it comes across very like this is the cheapest one you're going to get, and then it's north of $200.
Okay, so then what it sounds like to me then, because it's $200, is so what's entry about it? It's quality. Like, is that quality inferior? Because the price is not entry.
The only way I could say this is entry level, I told this to Connor like this afternoon. Oh, this is still entry level. If you comparison to Artisan figure, because it's $200 and it costs less than half the price, then it is entry level.
Once again, we have to compare this to the Wolverine that was $160 with silicone seamless arms that were custom for the figure, completely new molds for that entire figure, and it's $160. Dude, and it came with multiple mouth plates. It came with freaking the effects for the blades, swap out hands. Like, what makes this $200? I don't know.
Dude,
and like,
y'all remember when McDonald's was $1? A drink from McDonald's,
right? They're turning into
now
McDonald's.
It's $3.50.
Eggs were,
bro, with the 160 Logan. Now it's $248 Spider-Man.
So I think. Go ahead. Sorry, Lane.
No, Mike, go ahead.
Well, I think like a fair comparison to this. So like, if the goal of this company is to bring people into 1/6, now first of all, very few people start at 1/6, right? They might start at 112 and my 7-inch figures, etc. And then the big spend for them would be Mezco, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, so I think that is like what you want to do is you want to tell people, like, hey, bump up for 160 because now Mezco's like 120. All right, 112. I'm looking online, Big Bad Toy Store right now. 125 for a 112 Batman. Okay. So I think Hono's real situation here would be like, hey, listen, double the scale. but do it at 160 like you started at. Once you start getting 200
This would
and
sell
over,
so much better, $40 cheaper.
Yeah, dude, because then you can pull those because really, if you look at it, you'd be a 112 collector and be like, dude, for $40 more, I can get a 1/6 figure,
Right?
With very similar properties. You know, you've got your mixed media and all that, and like it would be a no-brainer to bump up, I think.
And dude,
but not at over 200.
I don't understand what they're doing with this line. It's so ass backwards. Why do we have this is our second Spider-Man figure. We have 3 Wolverines. Am I the only one that's like, where the heck is that Thor that they've showed off how many times? Like, if that was 200, I would understand that was 200 or closer to 200 because it's a much bigger figure. He's got armor and shit. Right, the silicone. I would understand it. Philly makes a great point here. By the way, what's up, Philly? I know like you popped in as we were talking earlier. People are going to lose interest in this line. They catered this line to people who it was more budget oriented. The figures are going to be cheaper. But $200, some of the Hot Toys announcements have been less. Like the Battle Droid figures, for example, have been $190. So it's like, where does the price point land now? Why is this $200 and why is the black suit $175? And as much as people shit on that black suit, that is a much better value now after seeing this one.
Yeah.
And this is bold because this is a show that, honestly, this show is probably going to fail already because people are already criticizing like the character choices and everything for the show. It's probably not going to do well. Maybe for the younger audience, it probably will.
3 seasons.
Right. And it's probably going to do well for kids. I'm sure it will. And that's probably who it's geared towards. But for people like in our age bracket, I don't know how the show's going to do.
I'm going to buy figures like this more than anything. That's the other thing.
Sure, and you know, Lane, there is a benefit to it being fully posable. And again, I think it looks cool. I love the fit, actually. But for $200, I don't love it. I don't love it for $200. And look at the comments, dude.
People aren't starting entry level with this. So you saying entry level, the route they should have went was like comic, you know, somebody said it in there and they took the words right out of my mouth, like comic versions, sneaky figures. Yeah, like comic book accurate versions. Like then you saw Hot Toys make the comic book Venom and then the comic book Doom. So they're doing comic versions. Now entry level is just saying to me, you know, not as good materials, not as much effort being put into it, but now it's upwards of $200+. It's just a weird marketing tactic.
Right, and that's $200 without taxes and shipping. So at the end of the day, you're paying as much as a Hot Toy if you get it from like a comic shop. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
And that's true too, because people can look on eBay and get a Hot Toy for $200, right? You know, and then you're getting an inferior product. You feel like, whereas Mezco makes you feel like you're getting top of the line 112 figure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can look at for some of this stuff, just like, what was it? I saw, I mean, you think about some recent figures within just the last 6 months that came up for pre-order that, you know, the Clone Commando is $235 for it. Now, doesn't come with a whole lot.
Pretty close in price to this. Pretty close.
Yeah. Or even you had it. Now, these are Trooper, but still, you had the exclusive, the Purge Trooper Commander, which was $250. That's within the same ballpark of this and everything. And to me, that's just like insane. Why would you do that? I just think this undercuts, and I think it undercuts people considering like could undercut even other figures like that Iron Man coming out or even Magneto or other stuff.
This is a great point, Lane. This is a great point too. Like you can get die-cast Iron Man figures on the second, like the Mark V, for example, and like you said, the Iron Patriot. Like on the secondary market, you can get them cheaper than this. So it's like it's rough, dude. And like Chunker's saying, like there's a comic line, and I get it. Like I said, like I'm gonna check out this show because it's a new animated Spider-Man show. It is exciting to me. I don't, who knows if I'll like it or not. And I think the figure's cool. I just don't. The direction of why is that Thor not been announced? Like Earth 616, it was literally the second figure they showed off, and it's like such a sought after figure. You know how many people I've seen that are waiting for that figure, including myself. Like that's such an iconic look for Thor, and it's like, what are they waiting on? You know,
what is he going to be? 210, 220 now? Like
I'm scared. I'm truly scared for the future of this line, and it sucks because they started so strong. We got freaking both versions of Wolverine that you could ever want, those two versions. We got Magneto, we thought we were getting the Thor, and that hasn't happened yet. The black suit Spider-Man, it wasn't the most exciting announcement, but I still think it's cool, right? But this is just too much. The $200.
And dude, this is what's been worrying me in general is when I start seeing the $500 Artisan, the $500 rooted hair, the tide rises with everything. So it's like it just everything rises up because now you have a $500 premium. I mean, even InArt has like 4 different,
and it's selling out in 30 minutes. So they're like, crap. If they're paying
now
for this,
the bottom, and now you're almost feeling like
305.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're getting now the entry grade level is now 200. Pretty soon it's gonna be 225, 250. I mean, that's what before I started collecting. I look back at the old prices. Like that's what Hot Toys used to go for was like 225. 240
all
on
day,
the regular figure. Yeah. So now it's like. Now we're just accustomed to the $325 standard, pretty much release.
So is this designed to make us feel like
feel like you're getting a deal because everything else
exactly.
This to me, when it first was announced, I'm like, this is an awesome like supplementary line to Hot Toys where you could fill in your shelf for some important like comic inspired characters. And like also Yomo makes a great point. Why has Magneto not been released? What's holding that up? I don't know, dude. Like I think we all kind of had a similar first impression of this line. We're like, cool, faster releases, a variety of comic characters. Like they're going to dive into all these comic characters, like stuff we've been waiting to see in 6 scale forever. That's not like Mondo where you can see the visible joints. Like, and so far it's like 3 Wolverine and 2 Spider-Man figures. Like that's concerning. Now I'm happy that we got the John Byrne brown suit and the tiger stripe. But then they throw in like that unmasked version. I'm like, it's cool, but why? Like, why not just do an ultimate version? Maybe do 2 options. Do a deluxe one with the sculpt.
Well, back in the day, they should have done that with the tiger one, and it should have been like maybe 185 or 190.
Or like give us an alternate option. I don't know, dude. And like the Iron Man is cool too, and I think the Iron Man's a brilliant idea for those that didn't get the die cast one because it's a bit more accurate. I'm gonna keep my die cast one because I love that figure, but. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. This just screams like bargain bin. I know people throw around that term a lot, and I don't like to use it a lot, but that's the thing, dude. Like I look at his
cool
gloves.
Looking figure.
I know, dude. It reminds me of the frickin' Nintendo Power Glove when I look at those wrist gauntlets, and I love it so much. And it's like remember Freddy Krueger?
We're on different planets. I do not like the look of this figure at all. I
love it. I think it's cool, dude. It's not for everybody, of course, but
I should never see the show.
Yeah,
that might be true, but I should never see Spider-Man with freaking like catcher wearing some catcher knee pads. Like
I could just see Lane. Well, it is the homemade suit, Lane. So to be fair, it's fitting for the title.
I understand, but I don't like the suit at all. I think it looks
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, it's definitely not gonna be for everybody, but I think it would look really cool with like the across the Spider-Verse into the Spider-Verse figures. Like I think it would fit as like a variant Spidey in that display.
But that's the thing. That's why the entry grade level thing bothers me a bit is because they already established that this is like a bargain. For the bargain collector, basically, is what they're trying to like sell it to.
Right.
And a lot of us, like the reason you collect is you want the most like realistic, accurate version of your favorite characters from movies, television, comics, whatever. Yeah. So if you're having something on your shelf at 200 that like you're getting because you want to save money, but now it's 200, why not just go up more and get whatever? Like that's the big head scratcher to me is like it's marketing itself to be bargain. Why would anybody want to have a premium collectible price be known as like a bargain figure brand? It's like, oh, dude, this is a Hono Studio, man. It's like, oh, okay. How much? Like those like 125, 130 bucks. Like, no, 225.
You got that Hono, man? How much you pay for that?
Like, oh, well, I got the Iron Patriot on a sideshow deal for 200. Right. Like, oh shit.
I got a diecast Mark V, and you got Spider-Man from your friend.
Yeah, I just think the marketing rollout for this, if they would have stayed with what they were doing, man, that's the perfect. They found that sweet spot, that 160 price, because that's far enough away from Hot Toys and a step up from the other stuff to where that was a good sweet spot. But now it's creeping up, man. And if it continues, dude, people are going to be out on this line like quick.
I don't think that the people that dropped from Hot Toys, because let's be real. I mean, it's becoming unsustainable for a lot of people. I don't think they're going to say, well, at least there's Hono. Because it's like...
Exactly. If I drop from Hot Toys, Mike, I'm going back to just collecting the $50 NECA figures.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I'll go back down to. Say what you want about Funko Pop. That's why people love Funko Pop, dude. You can go get your favorite characters for $15 and just have a
Exactly.
shelf of them. I mean,
It's-
that's, you know, I know it's like way different, but that's
Now,
where
there's-
people are going to drop to. Yeah.
A lot of people left statues to go to figures because of volume, right? Like there's, you know, you're in the game. There's something
Right, and
fun
like
to,
space
you know,
and money availability,
Right.
like, and now
Right.
it's like as these price and like the artisan stuff, and I'm like, I sound hypocritical because I collect it and I love it, but it hurts, dude. Like every one
Yeah.
that goes up, you're like, well, shit, I'm gonna need that one. Well, shit, I'm gonna need that one, and then soon enough, that's why I'm doing a major thin out of my Marvel stuff because they're doing so many cool Marvel artisans, and I'm like, I would much rather, you know, free up this space and money for these better looking figures because they're so damn expensive. I'm like, I can't afford to have Endgame Black Widow next to my rooted hair black. You know what I mean? It's just,
Right.
it doesn't make sense anymore. And I'm fine
Dude,
with
that's
that.
what I've had
you
to
know?
do too, Connor. Like I've
Yeah.
talked about it on my stream number of times, like almost to a point where I was like, all right, I got to switch it because it's almost seeming like I'm like completely getting out of the hobby. But I've been saying for a while, man, like I'm not going to be able personally, I can only speak for myself. Like I can't sustain at this rate these like the super premium. That's why I get so hyped for, you know, I keep going back to it, but a Rain Caradine, a Scorched Xenomorph at that
Yeah.
price, because you're still looking at a little bit below 3, which is still super expensive. But
Right.
for just me, this was never designed for me to like fill shelves with $500 things, you know. So this year, man, I'm being way more selective with it, and I wish there was that option. And it looked like it was going to be that with the comic versions. Like I really liked the way that Magneto looked at
And that Iron Man.
160.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Iron
If
Man's
that was
sick.
150, 160. That's a great opportunity to get people into the hobby. But now it's just, I feel like it's just getting a little too high, man. I really do.
They'll never go backwards either.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're never gonna go
Exactly
back.
right.
I'm very curious to see the Thor, and then you will move on after this. But I'm very curious to see that Thor and what that price point's going to be because I feel like he is going to be on the higher end because he does have all that armor and shit, and he's got the Mjolnir and everything, and he's going to be more expensive. I feel like, and if we see it break like 225, that's going to be a scary thing because like we said, like that's when you get that price
What's the
creep.
point?
And they're right, and they're doing it. And you know, Chunker was saying like I'd personally rather pay more for more quality, but that I agree. But that's not what this line is advertised as. This was supposed to be
Right.
entry level. So when we're talking entry level, I'm thinking simplistic figure, simplistic amount of accessories, but a simplistic cheaper price.
An
This
easy
shouldn't be
base.
any more than like 165 max. That's just
Right.
my personal
And
opinion.
I think like what he said is the reason why we collect Hot Toys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is why we collect Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's just concerning, and we have to say it now because if it happens later, we could say, okay, that's what we expected. That you know what I mean. So it is what it is. We're gonna move on to another figure that is much more expensive than this one, but I think is way cooler, and that's the InArt Wukong figure. I was immediately drawn to this figure because I just
He's awesome.
really. Yeah, he's awesome. I think it looks great, and I'll be honest with you guys. This is one of the few times where I pre-ordered a figure and I have not played the game. I just always thought the whole mythology behind the Wukong was really cool, and like all of the designs and everything that people have put out, not necessarily historically accurate in any sense. Like sometimes people just do like their own variations and stuff.
Different
their own art.
movie. There have been different movie,
Right, and the
versions of
movie
those
adaptations and stuff. I always thought it was a really cool concept, and the game, obviously, I will be playing the game. I do intend on it once I have some time. And the original version that InArt did, if you guys don't know, there was like a limited edition version of this game that came with the figure, and it was I think
That's in
Chunker
China.
actually has it. Yeah, I think Chunker actually has it, and I know some other guys picked it up that I know.
Yeah, and bots bought them all up, and that thing was going for like $800
Like,
to $1,000.
Oh, it was
in
going
China.
higher than that at one point, Lane. It was like 1,800 on eBay. Like it was selling for a lot of money. And I looked at that original version and I'm like, I don't think that outfit's that exciting. And a lot of people call him the homeless Wukong now after seeing this one. Like, because this is like, from what I understand, this is like the end game look. Like this is his final look. Like this is like the empowered
Yeah, at the end of the
Wukong,
storyline.
essentially.
Yeah,
Right. And when I look at that one versus this one, I'm like, this is so cool. And they gave him like that little stick that he like picks his ear with. I think that's what he does. And it's so funny. I mentioned in my InArt Ron Weasley video, I'm like, why hasn't, and I know you can, Justin, you can attest to this. I love that Hot Toys did the pre-sculpted hands with the wand in the hand. And I'm like, why did InArt not do that for their Harry Potter figures? But they did it for this figure. This is pre-sculpted in the hand. I'm like, damn. I literally just said that in my Ron Weasley video. I'm like, I would love to see them do a hand with the wand pre-sculpted in it. And they've done it here. So hopefully, I know, sorry, Mike, I think you were about to say something. But yeah, hopefully they do that moving forward. But
I was going to say I missed an opportunity to shave my beard like that.
right.
Too late.
This is a really cool, and so pricing wise, guys, I think through InArt it's $360, and then that does not include shipping. By the way, I saw somebody comparing the prices to Kit, and I think it was a little unfair because they were saying $360 versus like $445 through or $455 through Kit. I do have a code, by the way, guys. If you want to order through Kit, it's HTH Wukong. I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to order through 1/6 Kit. If one of the moderators wouldn't mind, if you do me a favor and drop the link to 1/6 Kit, I will drop the. That's the discount code if you want to save $10. But yes, keep in mind, when you pre-order through InArt, you do have to pay shipping as well. And I think shipping for Paul Atreides for me was like $39 from InArt Direct. So expect to pay within a close proximity to 1/6 Kit. It all depends on personal preference. Are you going to save money getting it direct from InArt? Yes. But it's all personal preference.
Isn't Kit getting? I'm sorry if you said this already. Getting figures out faster than InArt is?
Dude, I got I think like a week and a half or so after China's first batch was posted, I got invoiced for Ron, the Joker 4-pack, and what was the other one? Paul Atreides. So Ron and Joker 4-pack from Kit, and then Paul Atreides from Kit's been working closely with InArt since they kind of first became a thing, so I feel like now they're finally like, hey, we got you, man. You know what I mean? Because he's getting stuff pretty quick. I mean, he's still got a lot of outstanding batches, but I was very surprised to see he got included very close to that first like China batch. I do think InArt is trying to fix their shipping situations.
It's not unlike what Sideshow does, though. It seems like they fulfill their
with comic shops,
they fulfill their direct orders faster. Sorry. Their store orders faster than their individual.
I totally agree. Like John from Off the Racks, I said that to him a couple times. I'm like, dude, how did you get this before Sideshow even invoice for it? It doesn't happen with every single one, but it does happen. They do invoice them sometimes.
Like if you order from Underground, I've always gotten it before Sideshow starts shipping them. So.
Yeah, like I even got the Sideshow Beetlejuice from Off the Racks before Sideshow themselves invoiced.
Dude, I was wondering how you got that one so quick because I got it
Off the Racks,
dude. And you had a review up like a month or so ago, and I just got the invoice for mine.
Yeah,
probably like a week ago,
dude. And it's really good, man. A little bit of like giving him that spiky look to his hair, which I still haven't done because I haven't had time. It's good, dude. They listened. They really did, because that final product kind of looked shitty, and they must have hit up the factory, like put more product in there. I don't know what they did, but it looks good, man. I love the figure. Now is the Hot Toys probably going to blow it out of the water? I'm sure, but I love it. I really do, and I'm glad I have a representation from the first film. Right.
That's what I was going to say. It's enough different to where I feel like if you really wanted both, you could. You know what I mean?
I agree. But yeah, so going back to Wukong, sorry guys. He looks amazing. I'm excited to finally be able to sit down and play this game. 1/6 Lover said Dopo. This was a Dopo for me, dude. Like I said, I completely fell in love with this outfit when I saw it. And you know, 1/6 Lover pointed out as well. He said this is a reimagined classic look for Wukong. The tiny stick is freaking awesome, and it's made of ABS, won't get broken easily like the Paul nose tube. Yeah, I did see InArt was replacing those. They're finally replacing those nose tubes for Paul, because apparently it is a removable piece. So thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, this guy looks amazing. The one thing I was very happy to see is the headpiece is actually removable. It's a little magnetic piece. It pops off, and then a hair piece magnets in place, and it's actually pretty seamless. It looks really good. I saw a lot of people saying, why wasn't this doesn't have to be rooted, guys. Like, I feel like this style of hair on his face would have been a nightmare with rooting. Like, we mentioned this earlier. Sometimes it's just not the right call to go rooted on certain figures. For this one, with that magnetic piece on the head, I don't think that was the right call. So I'm perfectly fine with it being sculpted. I think he looks amazing. I love the display base. It's simple, but it looks really good. You can actually stick his staff in the base. You know what I was hoping? I'm not going to lie. I've watched a lot of gameplay of this game. I do that sometimes because I just can't wait to play it. Excuse me. And I've seen him where he gets up on his staff and it slowly like gets bigger and bigger. And I'm like, that would have been hilarious if InArt made it so you could like actually pose them like hanging off the staff. But I don't think you'll be able to do that. But the actual staff does slot into the base, which is pretty cool. I like that idea. Big Dog Pound, thank you so much for dropping the link, guys. Once again, if you want to pre-order through 1/6 kit, it's code HTH Wukong. If not, it is available through InArt Direct. It is a worldwide license.
What's the price, Connor?
So through kit, I think it's $455 and then $10 off with my code. That includes worldwide shipping. Right. Through InArt, it's $360, and then you have to pay shipping on top of that. Like I said, for Paul, for me, it was like $39 to the U.S. East Coast. So,
Kit, I don't know, man. My experiences with him have been nothing but awesome. So I trust him a lot. He's great.
Yeah, and I just got my Nathan Drake today, like I said earlier, and that figure is, dude,
that looks damn good.
I'm telling you, I'm going to be glazing it so hard in my review because when I opened it up, dude, I'm like, holy shit. I'm telling you guys, limb toys, they take forever. Like, forever. They take forever to release stuff. I can never unsee that scene, dude.
Forever.
Dude, the lip. You just did the lip perfectly. The black and white with the cop, it's just so funny, dude. But every limb toys figure, it's literally like Hot Toys quality. Like, I wish I was lying. Like, they're so good. And this Nathan Drake has like a cutout, just like the Artisan, like Jack Sparrow, for example, would have, where it has like, oh, rooted hair sculpt, or this is the name of this accessory. Like, it's got a cutout that goes over the main, dude. It's impressive, and the figure just looks amazing. So I'm really, really excited. And I agree with that, Field of Burn. I thought that rooted curl was like kind of unnecessary after I saw it in person. I'm like, I don't really see the value in that. But
it's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
I didn't see it at all. I didn't see the vision. At first, I was like, oh, rooted hair. That's so cool, man. And then when I got it in person, I'm like, what is this, dude?
Justin's like, they took my idea, man. Well, I was like, dude, your idea sucks, bro. Like, what? Don't brag.
I just, like I said, I wasn't a fan of it. MB Dyson's, what's up, by the way, MB Dyson? MB Dyson says, I bought my 3 No Way Home Spideys and said and said that was it for me. I might add Miles, no to Hono. Yeah, I mean, so I ditched basically my entire No Way Home Spidey line apart from Garfield, and I kept the red and blue suit because I love that figure. That's such a beautiful
Great figure, man.
Love that figure, man.
So good.
So I kept that one. I ditched the other two, and it's like, I feel like the newer Spidey figures just look better, and that Toby from No Way Home just really disappointed me. So I'm like, get that out of here. I don't want that anymore.
I'm not gonna play with you anymore.
Right? Yeah, it's like Toy Story, like tossing them in the toy bin. Big Dog Pound. Like I said, I haven't actually seen or played the game. I've watched a lot of gameplay because I just couldn't wait. But I'm excited to play the game because I know me. I'm going to enjoy the game. It's my type of game. I love, like, Ninja Gaiden is one of my favorite, like, type of games like this ever. And this reminds me a lot of Ninja Gaiden in a lot of ways. And speaking of Ninja Gaiden, we just randomly got that release of the remastered version, which I'm excited to play when I get a chance to. But I think this is going to look great. I did get that blasted third-party figure that's had a lot of issues, and I was thinking about canceling it, but I'm like, dude, like, I have such fond memories of playing Ninja Gaiden with my brother on the original Xbox. I'm like, I have to have it, so whatever I got to do to swap the body or whatever. But I'm going to have this next to Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, and it's going to look so freaking cool. Yes, I did. I actually pre-ordered, that third-party company. They just did those 2 new Snake figures. The one with the gator head and the eye patch, I had to pre-order that. And I'm with Evil Sneaker. We've talked about it a few times. I think Hot Toys is probably going to do a new Snake, maybe with the remastered Metal Gear Solid 2, but
3.
Well, sorry, I said 2. 3. Metal Gear Solid 3 just got remastered.
Snake Eater.
Yeah, so hopefully Hot Toys goes back to that Metal Gear Solid line.
Man, if they
I'm so mad they never finished Phantom Pain, dude, because Phantom Pain was one of the best games ever made, but it never got, like, it never was final. Like, it just kind of ended because of that whole dispute, but what a game.
Also, don't remind me of PT, because that is the saddest.
Dude,
I love PT, bro.
Man,
man.
Think about if Snake Eater, if they really would actually go into it, get a Snake, get a boss, the boss.
That would be sick.
Get Colonel Volg. I would
Ocelot. I want to see an Ocelot figure too.
Ocelot would be cool, and Eva, and like just those. But I mean, I would love to get the other Cobras.
Mike's gonna pre-order Quiet. I think he wanted a Quiet figure.
Yeah, but Quiet popped up. A lot of us would probably pre-order Quiet, but I mean, I prefer the Cobras from actually the end. What was it? The end, the Fury, and I'm forgetting the Snake guy.
I know who you're
It's been a
talking
long
about.
time. Yeah.
Metal Gear, the names I just get lost. There's so many like unique names I get lost.
Well, there
on,
was
dude.
the Cobra. The Fury was the guy who was using the flamethrower, and then you had the end who was the old sniper. But it's the Snake guy who was kind of honestly one of the lamest fights in the game. But all those guys, if you could get a Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, would be great.
Lane, the Dukes looks like he's ready to pop you for talking about Metal Gear for so long. Lane, I don't know how, we kind of briefly talked about this before the stream started, but this is a really exciting one for me, and I really wish Chris could be here because he has been talking about this Bloodsport line from Kaustic forever. I know Justin really loves this film as well. Dude, Kaustic is
so 80s. It is the perfect 80s action
I know.
movie.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is an action legend. He's up there with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sly Stallone and all these. Lane,
I'm not sorry. I'm not going to put him on the same as Arnold. And Sly.
I'm going to because he made my childhood. He made my childhood great.
You would be wrong, but you can feel free to
zip it. Lane. I mean, Arnold's still my goat, but I'm putting him up.
Yeah,
there.
he's on the level below. He's on the
maybe he's not on the Mount Rushmore, but if they were to rebuild it,
Double Impact. Have you seen Double Impact?
I've seen all the Van Damme movies from that time. Kickboxing.
Lane, have you seen the commercial where he split between two vehicles?
I'm going to say he's on the Golden Globus like Mount Rushmore. Him and
Double Impact. The scene with the girl taking the shower on the boat.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
You seen that one?
Yes.
So yes, dude, the Eric Draven from Kaustic, it couldn't be announced sooner. I sold my Sideshow in the moment I saw they were doing a 2-pack because they said, I think it was on Mafia stream. He did the stream with them, and they said that they were going to be doing a 2-pack, and I think the other one was the shirtless look, dude.
Are you serious?
Count me in, bro.
I didn't know that.
The Crow is one of my favorite movies of all time. We're not talking about the recent Crow, which
Bill Skarsgård, baby. Can't wait to get that in.
Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, the 90s Crow?
No.
Dude, Justin's such a troll, bro.
Crappy Crow from the 90s.
How is it that this same dude was such a great Pennywise and such a great Count Orlok, and then he plays the worst Eric Draven portrayal possible?
I think he's a one-trick pony, bro. I'm sorry. I think he makes a funny-looking weird face, and they were like, sure, you can be Pennywise.
Dude, I don't know. He was like unrecognizable as Count Orlok, and I thought the voice was great. I loved that movie. You guys know I'm a big fan of the original.
And he was really good he was good as the main bad guy in John Wick 4 as well.
Oh yeah, what was his name?
He's all right. Yeah,
the something.
yeah, I know. He was a French count sounding name thing.
The Marquis, that's his name.
Marquis,
the Marquis.
That's right.
The Marquis, yes.
Yeah.
And then I like,
dang, stirring the pot, dude.
Yeah,
I do like Bill Skarsgård a lot. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, Mike is more of a Alexander Skarsgård kind of guy.
Yes, I like the other Skarsgårds.
I like Bill, dude, and like I said, I thought he was so good as Count Orlok. The voice was just. I was so worried that the voice would be Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, but it wasn't. It was this new twisted ass dude. It was so good. I loved it.
All I'm gonna say is, after seeing that Crow remake, is that Eric Draven made Ash from Crow City of Angels sequel, like, made me appreciate him as a main Crow protagonist way more in that train wreck of a movie that was hacked to pieces by the Weinstein brothers back in the day. Because that movie was supposed to have a lot more stuff to it, but I appreciated that guy and his character playing that versus after seeing Bill Skarsgård's Eric Draven.
I agree with X-Man Lane. I think Brandon Lee will, and it's such a big undertaking to try to follow in the footsteps of somebody who literally passed away in filming the film, and it was their last great masterpiece. And that film it's not even a situation where, oh, he passed away, so we got to say the movie was good. It's such an amazing film. I love that movie. I could watch it unlimited amount of times.
That should have been the
long.
He's kind of like James Dean back in the 50s, 60s.
Like Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Right. Both Heath Ledger and Brandon Lee share a similar thing where the films that they unfortunately were known for would have really just absolutely catapulted their career into insane stardom. Like Heath Ledger was already in some good films, like 10 Things I Hate About You. That's a classic. I love that movie. But dude, that's a classic. It's cheesy.
Oh no, yeah.
I'd collect the whole line. I'd collect the whole line, man. Hono Studios, let's go, baby.
$250. I have not seen it, so I'll take your word.
Dude, it's cheesy as crap, but it's a classic, dude. It's such a classic. But anyways, we lost them both in such a pivotal career moment for them. And obviously Brandon Lee's was just such a crazy thing. And the fact that Bruce died so young and Brandon died it's still such a tragic thing to this day. But yeah, I'm really excited for those figures from Kaustic because, they give us stuff like this. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. How could you have this figure with the gi on? You have to have it shirtless. This custom body is, dude, it's insane. These guys at Kaustic Plastik, bro, I'm tired of people sleeping on them, and I feel like now they're not sleeping on them anymore. Everybody's waking up now. They're like, oh, shit, these guys are doing some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. I'm telling you, these guys, man, everything I have from them is phenomenal. And it's like the best way to describe the figures I own from Kaustic is they have a certain amount of class to them. It doesn't feel like a hot toy. It doesn't feel like InArt. It feels like its own thing. It feels like the guy who made this or the team that made this, they've seen this film 30 times and they've meticulously looked over this stuff. And it's it shows, man. And Justin, you and I can attest, they made a base for the Bela Lugosi Dracula with his birth and death date on it. And only a fan would look into things far and do something like that. It's and it's to see them talk about the licenses coming up. You could just see it in their eyes. This is a dream for them to make these figures. And it's dude, I'm all for it and I will promote them until the end of time. And I've never actually spoken with them on a level like that, but I just love their stuff. And I think they're doing amazing work. And to see figures like this and, by the way, what's up? Delo's totally right. They need to make, Bolo needs to become a figure. They did show, at the event, they did show a 1/10 scale action figure and a little statue piece, him fighting Dukes. I think they're going to do a 6 scale figure. I mean, that's just got to be a thing. They're going to.
You have to do strongly.
You squeeze his belly and his chest goes like this. Dude, I would do that all day. And it's just the only sculpt for because wouldn't it be great if the Jean-Claude one had the bloody nose? Oh, yes.
So the weird. Here's the weird.
I want the hands
Right, here's the weird thing about this sculpt, right? So, Lane and I were kind of briefly talking about this. Number one, I don't think the sculpt is bad in execution. So, someone had commented on the sculpt, and they're like, I think you need to revisit this. And they had shared their reference photos, Kaustic actually commented, and they shared their reference photos. And then they shared the exact photo that was provided to them by the licensor. So, the photo that they went off of, he had his mouth open like this. They did, so Kaustic shared a photo of the bloody nose just as a comparison, but then they shared the photo from the license, and he didn't have the bloody nose in that photo, but he had a similar expression. So Kaustic kind of basically said, we went off this photo from the licensor, and then they used the bloody nose look as a...
Holy crap, I was just being a smartass, and they
actually did. That is actually what they use as a reference.
Well, I'm just going to say for this, the previous picture that you were showing for this, just as I was looking at and having the guys in the background, kind of the ceremonial leaders of the Kumite, I could just hear in my head right now the chorus for Bloodsport going Kumite, Kumite, Kumite. I'm not gonna lie, I love how this figure looks. It looks
great.
That is the look, man.
Yeah. And the
screaming sculpt, man, is I love the passion because that's something that every big fan of this movie wants is that sculpt. Whether it looks
the first thing I thought of. Not.
Yeah. And to get both of those, man, and to the fact that we're even getting a Bloodsport figure, and that's why I'm just a lot of my collection going forward, if they continue to put out this quality and these IPs, will be Kaustic. Is because of IPs like this, dude, that you're not getting anywhere else. This is true, you know, I mean, cult classic films like this, dude, that if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, man, you were just loving stuff like this.
We wore these tapes out, bro.
Well,
we read this.
These guys are doing the Golden Globus movie, like all the guys. What we need for them is they did the Missing in Action Chuck Norris, didn't they? Kaustic Plastik.
Yes, and they also
they need to all they're missing is we need a Charles Bronson like Death Wish 3 figure with him with his guns and the freaking like Browning machine gun and the rocket launcher to kill all the evil gang members and stuff.
Right. You know what else I like about this figure? Well, this Frankenstein's great too.
The
figure is that like the musculature looks naturalistic in every pose they've shown.
And I also I love the shading they've done throughout the musculature to make it look more defined. It looks amazing. They're clearly like airbrushing on the musculature to make it look more. Dude, it looks amazing. And like even with this shitty little light here in the display, the sculpt looks great. I think they did a great job on it.
And dude, as much as I love, and I've said this on my stream, like Batman, Star Wars, Marvel, all that stuff. It's great characters, like timeless characters. For my collection personally, and this is what's kind of exciting going into like year 2 of collecting 6 scale, is like I'm starting to like be okay with like missing out. Like, year 1, you're wanting everything. Like everything looks amazing. It's new and shiny. But going forward, dude, this is what I'm like geared towards. Like, this is what I want in my collection, dude. I want the Rocky Loan Shark collector. I want this.
Right.
I want those iconic characters from not like, traditional, like, blockbuster, big, event films, and more like of these small, like, like I said, cult classic action movies. You mentioned, Lane mentioned Bronson, get us some Kurt Russell, get us some Bruce Willis, like, just anybody from that time
John
period,
Wayne
man.
as well. They're doing like John Wayne figures, man. Like, that's so cool. And like, Fielder Burn, you make a great. I was just thinking this the other day because I saw someone was posting that, because Sideshow does have the Universal license again for probably 1/6 and premium formats. I don't see them topping Kaustic. I just don't. I don't see the same attention to detail. And I really want to talk about this Frankenstein's monster right here because this figure to me right now is probably one of the most exciting 1/6 scale figures that's been teased thus far within the last like 6 months. Like, it's just, the sculpt is perfect. The diorama choice is perfect. I love the classic, and normally I would think it's gaudy, but on this it has to have that classic Universal font with the Frankenstein on the front. The seamless arms that connect at the elbow joint, like they did that with Nosferatu. They work great. They're not magnetic. They just plug in. They work excellent. Like, dude, this figure looks amazing. And I did tell Justin the other day, because him and I have been like closely following this. They did say that the licensing has finally been approved, like the actual product. And by the way, guys, sorry, Lane, I missed your private chat. Lane has to head out, guys. Lane, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Sorry if I was not paying attention to your private chat earlier.
All I'm going to say is just real quick is this Frankenstein I could see myself getting. The monster, like this one.
It's Boris Karloff, dude, a film legend, an absolute legend.
You got to get this, Lane. If you're even thinking about getting this, I'm telling you, this is a figure that when you look like, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I'm telling you, these are, in my opinion, like the timeless pieces in your collection that you look back on. I'm not saying nobody else is going to ever make a Frankenstein, but this to me just feels like a true collectible, man. Like a true, like right out of the screen collectible to represent that movie and that character.
Yeah, it looks cool. Like
it really does.
But this is not. This is still maybe a little ways off. This is like maybe sometime this year.
So I was actually about to say, Lane, I'll say it before you head out. They actually got the figure approved. It's supposed to go up for pre-order early February. So for those, I see a couple people commenting where can they pre-order it. So early February, supposedly. We don't have an exact date, but the pre-order is going to be ready soon. So I cannot wait. Lane, thank you so much for being here, as always.
Well, I know who will let me know.
Yes, I will be screaming at the rooftops. Guys, the Kaustic Plastik Frankenstein's monster's up. I will absolutely let everybody know. I posted in the Facebook chat, Instagram. Right. Yeah, guys. Yeah. That'll be me when I get the figure. But take care.
Pre-order here, or don't bother trying to show up next week. That'll be the battle cry.
And Connor, I'm going top tier. All right, I'll see you, Lane.
See you,
Lane. I'm going top tier with this one. You know, just for people, and Connor can tell you this more than I can. But Connor, correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, D-Lo, that would be sick.
Yes,
Silk
yes.
underwear,
You
it
know what
would
I'm
be
talking
nice.
about, Tilo.
Connor, correct me as I go if I'm wrong on this. But if you haven't ordered from Kaustic before, you can order through their website. You can also, a lot of times they put their stuff on Sideshow. But if you want to get it a little earlier, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Connor. Ordering it directly from the website, not only do you maybe get it earlier, but you also have access to like their limited online exclusive version, which is normally limited to like 200, right?
Exactly. So so they call it the web exclusive. They don't do it for every single figure, but they do it for most of them. So like they did a web exclusive for Bela Lugosi's Dracula. You and I have the base. They did a web exclusive for Nosferatu, the Doorway, which I had to have, which is in my collection. And this is certainly going to be the web exclusive for Frankenstein's monster. He's going to come with this whole backdrop and that little chair piece and everything. Like, so when you order it from them, there's only going to be 200 of them usually. I don't think they ever go over 200, but the best part about it is they're hand numbered. The box has a little space and it says out of 200, and they hand number it, which it's a personal thing. You know, you have that hand numbered version. It's in your collection and that's yours. You know, no one else has that.
That means a lot to me. That's how they used to do Mondo posters when I used to collect Mondo prints. The artist would hand print it, and that's big for me, man. I wish more.
And not a lot of 6 scale. You only usually see that with like custom makers. So to see a company that's realistically they're mass producing these figures, you know, because you can get Frankenstein's monster outside of the web exclusive version, like you said, on Sideshow and other retailers. But yeah, this is going to be sick. And speaking of the web exclusive, I got the web exclusive on pre-order of the Phantom of the Opera, and I had to get London After Midnight. Like that is such a dude. It's still such a bizarre story with that lost film where it burnt up in the fire, and like all they have left are like stills that were found later in the archives that they had left. There's no full version as far as we know, unless someone on the black market is like holding it ransom. There's no full version of that film, so all you could do is watch like people's own like interpretations where they put music in the background.
I've seen those, man.
Yeah, I watch it. It's about 45 minutes of stills, but it's by the legendary Lon Chaney, the man of many faces, and it's so sad that you can't watch it, but it's so cool. Like, who in their right mind would have thought a company would make a figure like that from a film that is lost, that no one can watch to this day? Yeah, and they did it great. Like, you know, it comes with the little grandfather clock with the webbing that you could put on it. It's just it's amazing, dude. And like, dude,
all three of us are pretty big horror guys, from what I understand. So like, we appreciate this, you know, big time. I will say that Chuck Norris looks sick too, missing in action. Yeah. But the thing that I love, man, if you tried to watch these movies today, man, these movies came out in the 30s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 1930s, 1940s.
Silent films too, yeah.
Silent
black
films.
and white, no less.
Exactly. There's a novelty to it. I'm not sitting there I'm not going to recommend like, hey, go check it out. You're going to love, like, again, you might not, but I will say, man, if you're somebody who's really into horror, regardless if you want to go back and watch 1931, these are like classic characters that have almost transcended. Like, we're still talking about these classic characters from literature, man. Like,
and they're
2025. I said that on a prior show, was that very rarely do you see the definitive look of a character be its first incarnation. Yeah. Yep. But the Universal, I guess I'll just call it the Universal Monsters, have that, you know, quality. I mean, what are we almost 100 years? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, like
getting there.
Like Nosferatu at this point is 102 years old, because that movie came out in 1922. I think Phantom of the Opera came out in like 1929, I think. So, dude, it's an old film. And I will say there's been so many iterations of the Phantom of the Opera, and I still think the original is the best. Yeah. I just think imagine if Lon Chaney had the opportunity to voice the role and what he would do differently. And like, I still think his look is the best look. He looks like a Phantom. Yes. He looks like a Phantom. I didn't like the one that came out after this. I think it was like in the late 40s, I think, or mid 40s. I can't remember what year it came out, but I didn't feel like he looked as much like a Phantom. You know, he just had that like accident with the acid, like the girl threw the acid on him, and I'm like, it's not. Well,
and if you look at the behind the scenes, Connor, like I know you have, because you kind of alluded to that London After Midnight. Like, just the work and the passion that went into these movies with the makeup and what they did. Like, this was like when these came out, man, there was nothing like this. And like Mike said it perfectly. The fact that like Bela Lugosi's Dracula like came out And that is like what has now become like the default version of Dracula, like in all of pop culture. Like, not saying people haven't done different takes on it. Same with Frankenstein's monster. Like, people do different interpretations, but that's like the essential default version that everybody knows. You know, people that don't even collect anything or don't watch a lot of movies could go into your collection room, see Frankenstein's monster on the shelf, and know exactly what it is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Even though makeup,
that's what's exciting.
Yeah, makeup has improved, computer graphics, like all of these things. None of those characters look dated.
And
exactly,
look, Mike, look what they're doing now in Universal Studios Florida. Like, they're building an entire area of the park with these classic, and they're not using the likeness of like Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff and like Lon Chaney Jr., but they're still, these characters are living on. And like you said, it's not often where the original design for films that are this old is still carrying on to this day. Like, a lot of times you see remakes that catch on better and like, okay, that's the one we like more. It looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
But with these, they stood the test of time. And I know like MB Dyson, like I know a lot of people are partial to like the Broadway film, but I don't know, for me, it's Lon Chaney for me. And if you get it, there's actually a web exclusive accessory too for ordering it from them. And I'll answer another question that we had. You also do get the mask that he wears in the original film as well. And it comes with this, so that's pretty cool. I might keep the mask off because I just love that head sculpt, but this is really dope.
What's cool too is that like being that these are characters that are public domain.
Yeah,
you really
so
like
you can see the film. Like,
you just take the bolts from here, you put them here, and then that, you know what I mean. And there's ways to get around some of those issues, which companies do. And you can have a Monster Squad, right? And you can have what looks like these Universal characters and get outside of the copyright issue.
Yeah, this is really cool too. I wish it was a 6-scale figure. There is a third-party company doing a really shitty variation of this. This is when he comes out during like the ball, the celebration. And he's like pretending like he's just part of the celebration. They don't know that he's the Phantom. It's a third-party company that's doing this version of him, and it looks really bad. But I wish they did a 6-scale version of this because I think it's meant to be red, like he's in all red. I think like the robes and the hat are red. So that would be really cool.
Bill DeBurn said it with the Red Death.
The Red Death, yes. Yep. Yeah, so this would be really cool to see in a 1/6 scale figure, but unfortunately this is just a statue. I don't think there's like any... I was sad to see the Army of Darkness statue.
I want the 6 scale. I saw that. You got to do a 6 scale.
This is my boomstick. For
the love of God.
Yeah.
It was a masquerade. Yeah. I was really sad to see that this was a statue. It's a dope statue, don't get me wrong.
It is. I like the pants.
It's based on like the movie poster and stuff, but
but we've seen a few times, really, Connor. I know with Nosferatu they did the figure, and now they do the
quarter scale.
Quarter scale statue. We might get this, man. So like I said, dude, you never know who's listening. So Kaustic, if you're listening, listen to me. Let's get this in 6 scale, man. Let's get it in 6 scale. You got 3 buyers right here. Okay,
right.
You got 3 buyers right here.
Yeah, they got to take him seriously, man. We got to do his class.
Hey, Kaustic, listen. Hey, it's your good old pal. How you figure? Listen to me. Make the Evil Dead. Let's get some Evil Dead figures out there. Once we get that, then let's get some other horror IPs going. You got a buyer right here, man. You got a buyer right here, and I don't want to speak for Mike and Connor, but I think we got 2 other buyers right there, and then we build from that. So if you're watching, I don't know. Think about it.
There you go.
How could you say no to that, Kaustic Plastik? Come on now. By the way, what's up, Collector Joey? Great to see you, bro. A channel member and a good friend.
What's up, Joey?
Hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah, what an endorsement. I don't think they could say no to this. But yeah, there's not. I don't think there's. Oh, and I will. I don't know. I guess not. I guess the photos of that was a video actually with Bolo in 1/10 scale, but. That's about it, guys. That's gonna wrap it up. I was thinking about like the Arcane Vii or whatever her name is. That's a really cool figure. I just don't think anybody cares to really talk about it right now. But
what a week, man! What a week.
I know.
You get everything, Connor. You know what I'm saying? There's some weeks where you just like you're looking for something, and then in this hobby, what I've noticed, man, is sometimes, dude, you just have so much you can't even get to all of it, dude.
I've been telling people don't sleep on Chinese New Year because if you go back on Instagram a year ago, Hot Toys was still cranking stuff out, dude.
They have timed posts, I feel like. They do like timed posts, and they're like, surprise.
Can we get one last full screen of Mike's beard, please, Connor? I hate to
absolutely.
ask, but wow.
That's got to be a new emote for the channel members.
My God.
It's got to, dude. I still can't believe he did that. Like I said, it completely caught me off guard.
I just sat here and just ripped it out like this.
Right. Didn't even
That's
bother
how I
with
wanted.
the Manscaped, the lawnmower 6.0
Yeah.
or whatever it is right now. I wouldn't be surprised because I know that show is pretty popular. I think she looks great. It's an awesome looking figure. I almost was like tempted to get it just because it looks cool, but I'm probably gonna pass on it. But
Yeah.
she looks awesome, and I think it's a V. I think she looks awesome
Vi.
too. Vi.
Yeah, she
I
does.
really like the steampunk look that they have to their
Yep.
gear and stuff. I think they look awesome.
It's a gorgeous show, dude. It's
I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll watch the show and I'll be like, okay, let me drop a pre-order on them because I love the video.
That's
game
what happens
stuff
to me
especially.
sometimes. When I watch
Yeah.
it, I'm like, I really do need that character.
And you're
now.
like, it's like I was like you with the Avatar figures. Like, dude, I love these movies. Should I get it? And I'm like, dude, you got to get it. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Bro,
I
can I
can't-
just quick story? Like speaking about getting it or whatever, like sometimes you forget you've thrown yourself on a wait list and then it pops up. You're like, oh man, I forgot I was on that because I had the Joker and then I canceled it because I was like, I'm not going to collect any Rogues Gallery stuff because like you were talking about earlier, like a nice variety is good. Well, I decided to go like super deep on Batman and Star Wars and not have a big variety. So, but then I remembered I had this.
Oh shit!
Oh wow!
Liber Mayho Joker.
9.8 is crazy. That's
Yeah,
good. That's
dude.
good, man.
And how nice would that look with the Hot Toys Joker? And what's really cool is I love the story.
Yeah.
That this design. So people, when the movie came out, they were like, "Who stole it from who?" Because this design came out at the same time as the film. And
Interesting.
And Liber Mayho was like, "No, they didn't steal my design. It had to be published." It turns out, because he was a consultant on the film as well, it was just one of those weird cosmic things where Heath was coming up with the exact same design that this artist was for this new incarnation
wild.
Joker at the same time.
That's cool.
And
I feel like you have to get it now, dude. You've kind of talked me into making you get it.
but dude, like it's just an amazing coincidence how that happened, and I've always been fascinated by that. Plus, I had a beer with Heath. It's my boy. So
Yeah,
it's a story
dude.
for another time, perhaps. But yeah,
He will never be matched. That's for sure.
No.
But yeah, that's a great looking figure. I still don't have either one of the ones I have on order. I don't know what's going on with that.
I
but-
just got the notification from Sideshow that the sculpted that I have on pre-order is going to be charged on like the 30th.
Nice. I have
So
Jack
kinda be
Sparrow
looking
on the
out for
way.
that.
I do have that on the way. I will say that. I have my Jack Sparrow on the way. I'm excited for that. I did, to do some experimenting, I did buy a DX15 hat to see how that looks. Because Toy Anxiety just broke down a Jack Sparrow, so I was like, screw it. Let me buy the hat and see
That's
how
cool.
it looks. So I'm going to try that out. Thank you, everybody, for saying great show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you, everybody, for
Yeah.
hanging out with us. We had a great turnout tonight.
chat makes it so much fun
Yes,
too.
the chat was awesome. And guys, as always, I apologize if I missed some of your comments. Sometimes when you get deep into conversation, you just kind of get lost with the chat. But yeah, it was a fun stream, guys. A lot of cool stuff. Kaustic Plastik. I hope that they see this stream just to know that there's a lot of people out there that are pulling for them, and to know that Justin said that we should get that figure because 3 of us will.
Come
buy
on,
it.
Caustic.
I mean,
If you
know,
got an extra Bloodsport figure laying around, you want me to take a few pictures of it, let me know.
There you go.
I mean, and if you happen to have 2 or 3, I mean, we would definitely not take them, like totally not. But for real though,
We're
Kaustic
just
Plastik, yeah, they're doing amazing stuff. And there's a Kaustic Plastik Facebook group now that was just created. So if you guys are interested in like getting hype on the Kaustic Plastik stuff, seems like they got one of the owners of Kaustic as an admin in there, so it seems like a fun time. So definitely check it out.
And I want to
just
say
hopped in
real
there.
quickly, Connor, I think this goes without saying because I just want to say, like, I'm hyping them up because I'm a fan of what they're bringing out.
Absolutely.
And if I get a figure and it's not good, I'll tell you. But I'm just hyped. I don't have like a thing with Caustic or anything like that. It's awesome to see a company that I feel is like putting in a lot of passion in what they're making. And if it comes out looking good, man, I just want to support that for me personally, for my collection. You know what I mean? Because it's like exciting IPs for us
dude,
three, you know?
the goat is sitting right here.
I mean, it's beautiful, dude. It's just beautiful. It's
goat.
you said it best. There's a classiness to it. It's like
I'm telling you, man, it's just a 6 scale figure at the end of the day, but there's something to it. I can't even explain it. I don't know if it's like, because these guys are from Italy. I don't know if they just have better fabric where they're sourcing. I have no idea. I don't know, dude. I love
Wait,
their
Kaustic
stuff.
Plastik is an Italian company?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because
wow.
if you look on their website, they do a lot. I think they call it like Cinema Italia. They have a lot of like Italian-inspired cinema pieces, which is awesome. You know, they're catering to like people from where they're from, which is so sick. And some of the stuff like They Call Me Trinity, which is like a classic film that I remember watching when I was a kid. I regret not buying that one. It was just at a time I was getting so many invoices and the web exclusive sold out. But
they've never done any spaghetti western stuff, or
I did not know that. I did not know that because those figures are very good. I didn't know they produced those figures. I was
They're about
wondering,
like Sergio Leone type movies or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking. But are you talking about Sneaky Figure?
Sorry, I was reading Sneaky Figures.
Okay,
I was reading. He said that Kaustic does the Sly Stallone shop figures. I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. By the way, Val, thank you so much, my friend, for the $5 super chat. You are too kind, and I'm so glad to hear everybody enjoyed the show as always.
Appreciate you, Val.
I really appreciate you, bro. You are too kind. Thank you so much.
That's a classy move.
It is. He is a classy.
That's a hottie. That is, a hottie move right there.
Yeah. By the way, guys, like I said, I will be updating the tiers soon. Mike was helping me come up with the names for the tiers, so I'll be adding a new tier and updating them soon. I will tell you this, Field of Burn, that was the most difficult time ever, and I told this story to a bunch of my friends. That vampire medallion was nearly impossible to find. Like, legitimately, I looked for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I randomly found this company on Facebook that had listed them as a pre-order in like 2023, like the beginning of 2023, and I just messaged them on a whim, and I said, do you happen to have any of these laying around? They're like, actually, we have one of these left. And they didn't, and also that to go along with that, also the vampire cloak that they did to go with the Christopher Lee Dracula, which I also have in my collection. That also is impossible to find. You cannot find it anywhere. And unfortunately, Kaustic has commented on multiple times saying we're not going to redo these because that's not their thing, and I do appreciate that they're not going.
Yeah, I like that because you do have plenty of time to like. From what I've noticed now, the Frankenstein might be that's going to be probably their most popular. That will probably overtake Bela Lugosi because I know the Bela Lugosi Dracula's their like all-time seller, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this Frankenstein will take the crown on that. So I don't know how. I'm just making sure this is going to be the first Kaustic that like I make sure I'm pre-ordering day one just in case.
Yeah, like I just dropped the order. I was a bit later, but I have noticed even if I was later, especially on the web exclusive, I get it day one anyway because it's so limited. Like they're gonna ship those as soon as they get them, but. I recently ordered the John Wayne, I ordered the Phantom of the Opera, and I ordered the London After Midnight. So I got those three on order. So I'm pretty excited.
I can't wait to see your I slept on that 2-pack Hammer Horror, man. I'm so mad at myself for sleeping on that.
And dude, yeah, those are freaking amazing. And the fact that I was able to hunt down the cloak for him, I haven't got it yet. But because I'm working out a deal on another figure with the guy that I found it from, but I'm excited for it, man. That 2-pack's amazing. The sculpts are so good. It comes with like I think 3 sculpts for Van Helsing, and it's 2 Star Wars actors, so I had to have it too.
Yeah,
you know, it's like a win-win for me. I get Hammer Horror and I get 2 beloved Star Wars actors, Grand Moff Tarkin and Count Dooku. So
yeah, man,
it's really cool. Sorry, what were you saying, Mike? You started to say something earlier.
No, I just think it's really cool. Again, this is my first time hearing that they're an Italian company. Just like for an Italian company to produce figures at this quality and still maintain that price point, competitive price point to Hong Kong is impressive.
Yeah, no, I don't, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know where they're manufactured. If you got, I don't know if they.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if they actually make them in Italy, but I just know their standards are very high, and like their fabric selection is amazing. They're just the attention to detail with their stuff is just second to none, and like Justin said, that Frankenstein's monster is going to be a freaking hit, dude. It really is, and the Nosferatu is a hit, and that figure's over a year old at this point. And if you guys want to see how bad people want that figure now, just go take a look on eBay and see how many people are spending boatloads of money on that figure. It's crazy how expensive it is now. But and I remember they also did an unofficial Conan set as well. Like it came with like the body and stuff like that. They've done a lot of weird stuff in their start of their career. What is that? Is that the Lone Shark? Dude, that's
fantastic figure, man.
The only reason I passed on that, and then I'll end out the stream. The only reason I passed on that is because they've been teasing that they're doing actual like boxing versions of Rocky and Apollo Creed and stuff. So I'm like, I'll be getting those.
I'm gonna get those too. Rocky's a franchise that it's gonna be tough for me to say no to, man.
I know, dude. Like Mr. T, freaking Carl Weathers, bro. Like,
Yeah, man.
I need to come over and see your collections, man, because I love the variety that you guys are. Again, I just you can't have it all, but
Yeah.
I really sometimes the grass is greener, right? Like you see somebody with 100 stormtroopers or something, you're like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Then you see somebody with like a character from every movie you grow up with, and that's equally or maybe even more so impressive sometimes.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to end out the stream. As always, guys, please check out the description. Links to Thrawn's office on Instagram, which is Mike the Winter Soldier with the Fu Manchu. And then, of course, Justin from How You Figure. Justin's cranking out some awesome videos. I watch Justin's videos while I'm driving all the time, so he probably doesn't know that I watch them, but I do. I watch your
Man. Thanks,
your
dude.
top most anticipated horror films. I watch that. Well, I should say I listen to it. I listen to that. I listen to all your stuff. I never comment because I'm like on the way to work and I'm like, let me watch one.
No,
Justin's
dude,
videos.
it's okay. I
do that
appreciate
all
you
the
watching,
time, dude.
man.
I was
And
so upset I missed the last two. Well, there's a couple Fridays ago you did it like in the morning. I was like, what did he do to me? And then I missed last Friday, and I always love catching that show.
I will say I catch most casual Fridays. At the very
Me
least,
too.
I'll pop in and say something in the chat. I do catch most of them. I did miss the last one, but I do catch most of them. So, guys, if you haven't already, check out Justin. It's
appreciate
his
that,
solo
guys,
show.
bro.
I'm just waiting for the call, man, on a Friday where I'm not busy, man.
I've turned to freaking Logan in Deadpool Wolverine buried in the ground, waiting for that call.
I know. I guess my energy levels are not optimal enough for casual Friday, but maybe one day, dude.
This is working, so check your DMs.
Right? He's like, I'm gonna come on in a couple weeks.
It's just so good as a solo show, though. I would not even want to go near it.
But right, it is. But imagine like optimal energy levels, but times 2 or times 3, just occasionally, occasionally.
I'm worried about putting that out in the world, man. Hopefully people can handle it, but you're right. Maybe we just turn that to 11. Dude.
Right. It's hard to imagine that it could go beyond just your optimal energy levels.
No,
but you never know.
I appreciate you guys, and Connor, as always, dude. Thanks for having me on. Always love being on with Mike. Mike, you know that, dude. Really appreciate you guys, man. What a great conversation tonight.
Yeah.
I really needed this, man. A great conversation about some great figures, man. We talked about all sides of it, dude. So Connor, once again, man, awesome show you put on, and I appreciate being able to be a part of it so many times.
It's great to have you, dude. Like I said, I invited you purely because I want. I'm going back to like so fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make everybody feel bad tonight. I've been making Brick feel bad the past couple of days about the Winter Soldier arm because I was joking with him. I'm like, dude, I feel targeted by you saying that because he said on his stream he was talking with Flavio and he was like, honestly, dude, I don't get people saying that they like the diecast arm, and then now they're saying they don't care if it's diecast. I'm like, Brick, you were targeting me with that comment. I was just messing with him, and he feels so bad, but I'm like, dude, I'm just joking with you, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, check out How You Figure. Like I said, tomorrow for me, I'm gonna have up my review for the Limb Toys Nathan Drake. So keep an eye out for that. I cannot wait to review that. Like I said, it's going to be probably a lot of glazing in that review. So if you expect me to really shit on it, probably won't because it's just such an amazing figure. And I'm sure I'll find something wrong with it like I always do, but it's such a dope figure. So, and I have other stuff planned. I have multiple videos partially filmed that I have not been able to finish because I've been working so late, but my free time is coming up this next week, so I cannot wait. But anyways, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the awesome turnout, for the amazing comments, and all those who support. Whether you're a hottie or you're just a regular channel viewer, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please consider dropping a like on the stream, subscribe on the way out, and if you're watching on the replay, I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll catch you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST.
See ya, hotties.